One, two, one, two, one, two, one, two. What is the point? Excuse me. What is the point of all this shit? What is the point? What is the point? Why do we do this? What is the point? What is the point of this? How do we do this? Why do we even go around doing this stupid stuff? Huh? Why do we do this? Why do we do class? Why do we do the report? Well, we want to have a one-up. As a man in life, you should always have something working for you. And some of you guys got more than one thing working for you. But we know that this shit right here don't cost nothing, son. This don't cost you a thing. It doesn't cost you a thing to do this. Doesn't cost anyone a thing to, I guess it costs to take care of yourself. But you wouldn't say that in America, because let me tell you, brother, something. You always have to use the Mexicans and everybody, poor people, since black women are so much about money. We go to the poor. We go to the third world country people. We go to third world country people, right? And we say, well, damn, why don't they do or have the issues that our women have? That's the point. That our women have all of these monetary, superficial, silly things going on with themselves, and we watch regular poor people create and be healthier. Shit is painful, man. That our bitches have run amok on the thing that we love the most, while Mexicans and other poor people, they just get to make love, make love, make love. Yeah, that shit is embarrassing. You know what? I think we're going to look that up. Hold on. Because you don't get too many Mexican IVF stories. It's only these black bitches that wanted to take on this white agenda shit to where they wanted to copy white so much that they ruined their bodies. Shit is fucked up what they did, man. And they're happy to know that men are too, you can't call a man a name for it, but they just know that men are not informed. And they move around like that, If I don't do this, I know no one else will, so that's why we do it. What's the point? At least we thought the point was, hey, if the guys had came together and all understood what we was doing over here, it would really turn this shit around. So that's the reason why we do it. Not saying that it'll happen, but we know if this shit ever caught fire, because it's like this. Brothers stop marrying them. They can't put people on child support without running some elaborate schemes. The new scheme is IVF. IVF shouldn't even be able to be put on child support. But anyway. Just the ruin of the whole experience, son. You want to know where independence and liberty got these bitches? Whew. Yo, when y'all see these new studies, see, Trump and them know the new studies already. We don't get them yet. The new stories are tear this mother down. You know? So what do? We try to be nice. All right? So all we can do is try to be nice to these people because we know that it's fucked up. Other men don't know. They already got the robotic shit coming. Brothers ain't marrying and getting put on child support so easy. The only thing that's left is to show these bitches who they are. It's the only thing that's left, son. Because they still moving around like you can't show them a damn thing. And I'm here to tell you, brothers, you can. You can talk to these women the way you know you should. Like, boo, you ain't shit. You can actually do that, pimp. That's what the women don't want you to know, player. Yeah, showing me I ain't got no watches, that nigga. But you know me, I don't give a damn. It's showing me I ain't got not a watcher in the first, but it don't matter. But I'm just saying to myself, what is the point? Why do we do this? What is the point? Because if we could ever get men on this level, it will put the final straw in these bitches. We got all the info. We know they live fucked up. We know they ain't good as men en masse. You got some outliers. And you know that they could be better to a man than their piece of pussy. You know? They have almost ruined it to where men don't want nothing to do with you. They have almost ruined it. Yeah, that nigga. I mean, we call it, the New Testament, Old Testament, all that shit is all the same, son. We have broken this. We have broken the system. They said you see what? Let me tell you what's going on. When you watch these other content channels, right? What you're seeing is, like you say, brothers always complaining about women moving the goalposts, and these brothers know what they're saying, but these women, they know that there's still other factors that's missing, and they can still, have the conversation, move the goalposts, this, that, and the third. And guess what we attack? Because they know that men can't read their mind, and men don't know nothing about pussy. All right, so these are the two key factors. Okay. But if men was able to come over here or gain the knowledge and understand, now you can read some pussy. That's the first line of order. You can read some pussy. It is physical. Nothing about the pussy is mental unless the woman is bringing the war to you. She don't have to do shit for you. You can still fuck her pussy. You can have a great time and she can have a great time if she don't move a muscle. Long as she say, yes, you can fuck my pussy and, let you position her the way that you want to position her. You don't need that bitch. All she got to do is say yes and open up or let you position her. But if she wants to make it nice, she can. But her pussy is not, the mental has nothing to do with the pleasure of her pussy for the most part. But it does have an effect on the mental when the pussy goes backwards, when the pussy goes the other way, when it double crosses the woman. Then it can affect the mental. But, you know, they know that they got us, y'all. They know that, oh, this nigga don't know my pussy bad. I just got to make sure I clean it up the day I'm fucking him. Oh, this nigga don't know I'm going to have an IVF baby. I'll tell him after I be fucking him. Oh, matter of fact, let's go there first. We ain't going. Okay, we're going to go with this girl first, then we're going to go to these prices. Damn it, man. She going to blame birth control on the STD? Well, let's see. I'm glad you said that because I was about to go here. This was just our little introduction thing. Where the hell's the volume? Oh.
All right, for real though. Read my fucking shirt, bitch. Guess what, bitch? I have chlamydia. All right, for real though. Who the fuck gave it to me? I was with my ex in February. Okay, boom. February was with my ex a few times for the first few weeks. Okay, boom. Wasn't with anyone the rest of February. Then March came. Beginning of March was with my sneaky link. Which one of you motherfuckers gave it to me? It was one of you. It was one of you.
Let's listen. She said she had 2 eggplants. We're going to get to the chlamydia, but listen to how she uses her pussy. See, this is the point. The point that we do these classes is like this, homie. We see they have that secret on us. We don't know what they did last summer. We don't know what they did with their pussy. We have an idea. And then once we know what they did, they said, well, you can't stop me. It's a free country. I could just fuck. So we're not supposed to know you got chlamydia, BV, PID, endometriosis, fiber. We're not supposed to know anything. Then we are not supposed to know how it affects you. Then we're not supposed to know, oh, by you eating that way, that ain't helping you. We're not supposed to know none. We're just supposed to know that you're ratchet and you can do whatever you want. Okay. So she's going to say, hey, I fuck my ex, then I fuck some other nigga.
Fucking shirt, bitch. Guess what, bitch? I have chlamydia. All right, for real though. Who the fuck gave it to me? I was with my ex in February. Okay, boom. February was with my ex a few times for the first few weeks. Okay, boom. Wasn't with anyone the rest of February. Then March came. Beginning of March.
In March, she put another eggplant in her pussy. See that? Yeah, we talking about the chlamydia, but more important, the point that we do these classes are to show the mismanagement of pussy. And that's how we read your mind. So we know how to read your pussy. Now we read your mind. So you knew you fucked somebody else, and the best thing that you thought to yourself, if he was your ex, you say, let me fuck this new nigga. It's fucked up.
For the first few weeks, okay? Boom. Wasn't with anyone.
While the new nigga was trying to get the pussy. Crazy. Crazy.
Right. Okay. Boom. February was with my ex a few times for the first few weeks, okay? Boom. Wasn't with anyone the rest of February. Then March came. Beginning of March was with my sneaky link. Which one of you motherfuckers gave it to me? It was one of you. It was one of you. At least it's just chlamydia. Like, I never would have thought I would have said that before, but it's curable, you know what I mean? I'm sharing a lot with you guys.
Dolomite, she was talking to the new nigga while she was fucking the ex. It's the age-old story. We know the rules. We know the rules.
Sneaky link. Which one of you motherfuckers gave it to me? It was one of you. It was one of you. At least it's just chlamydia. Like, I never would have thought I would have said that before, but it's curable, you know what I mean? I've shared a lot with you guys over the past few days. I did not think I'd be sharing chlamydia. Everything happens for a reason. That's why I got my birth control taken out. My mom said, damn, you okay? No. No. And then I just found out that I'm stuck here. Well, I'm not stuck, but I'm here all day. Okay, so I will definitely take my mind off the chlamydia. Here's the thing. They call me. My phone's ringing, and I'm like, oh, it's just the OB-GYN. And I said, hold on. It's just the OB-GYN. I was there 2 days ago, bitch. what STD do I got? So I pick up the phone. She's like, hey, Julia, I'm just calling. 2 things. 2, bitch? What is it? She said, okay, so, there was some bacteria. I said, okay, BV? I don't give a fuck. I never had BV before, but.
BV? I don't give a fuck. And that's really the same attitude for all these bitches, man. What we have come to notice is they'll get anything. They'll get any disease, they'll get any whatever. Long as the doctors have something to fix it is all they care about. They don't care about prevention. You understand? They care about, can we fix this? Reckless box, bitch, ma'am. That's your fault. You keep trying to blame men. No. Don't make sense, huh?
There's a first for everything, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, whatever. Forgot there was even a second part, man. Then she goes, okay, so the second thing is you have chlamydia. Bitch, I almost hung up the phone. I said, are you kidding me? She said, no, I wouldn't joke about that. April Fool's is right around the corner, so I'm kind of hoping.
It's real. Now we know dramatical black bitches move and gyrate and talk with all this stupid energy. Stupid. They don't even care when it's telling that they are out here doing multiple eggplants. Yes, brother. This is what freedom and independence got us in the black community. Silliness. The ability to work and talk and move your hands and slap your thighs and be energetic when you're speaking. You can be energetic when you're speaking, okay? That's what makes you a black woman, not the fucking misuse of your pussy. Shit is wild.
I'm gonna come back to you guys because I'm at work right now, so hold on. Read my fucking shirt, bitch. Guess what, bitch? I have chlamydia. All right, for real though. Who the fuck gave it to me? I was with my ex in February. Okay, boom. February was with my ex a few times for the first few weeks. Okay, boom. Wasn't with anyone the rest of February. Then March came. Beginning of March was with my sneaky link. Which one of you motherfuckers gave it to me? It was one of you. It was one of you.
But you're not a whore. The bitch said it was one of you that went in my pussy. That shit is wild, man. That's why we do this. Just to let brothers out here on the internet that's talking that shit. Niggas that's talking that shit, right? For the niggas that's talking that shit, brother, you know how behind you are? These bitches, they're throwing pussy around, making it not usable. And guess what she won't do? Now, she's so stupid, she won't tell somebody else that she recovered from chlamydia when she actually can. Men are that stupid. Men are still fuck them and say, yo, I put a rubber on and fuck you, I don't care. But she won't go tell somebody, yo, I've had chlamydia. So a man can know before he fuck her, yo, I'm reckless. Yo, son. Listen, man, we got a sponsor of the show. The brother name is AC. Must be that nigga. Must be that nigga. This show was sponsored by that nigga. Yo, we got a sponsor of the show. The man wants me to cook these bitches up. I do have some research that I've done, and it's not pretty. I don't even want to do it. The research that I finally got, that I've been trying to tell you brothers about, where you laugh at me, when I tell you after they have all these bad pussies, they still will give that man what, class? Any kind of child? I don't want to show y'all that, but that nigga sponsored the show. You understand me? So I'm going to have to do it. Not right now, because I want to keep a little fun going. But I'm going to show y'all the shit y'all laugh at me about. They don't care what kind of baby they give people. I'm going to show y'all that shit so your fucking heart can feel what my heart feels. how I fucking despise these people for fucking up this community going forward. I despise these people being, I didn't want to feel that way, man. My heart. Yo, the babies that they bring into the world nowadays will break your heart. I already showed y'all. The bitches are trying to do IVF and they can't afford the good one. So they go get donors from Lebanon and all these different places to call them a black person, a part of the black community. These people ain't shit. They ain't shit, man. They make black, matter of fact, let's go there. Let's go there. Because we ain't going to the baby stuff. I ain't trying to break nobody's heart. But we want to go here. This shit right here. Look what they reduce men to. Look at this shit.
It just makes life a lot easier. So I am looking down because I'm looking at my expense tracker to see what all we paid.
Only a live nigga like that nigga will, well, nah, you know, the rest of y'all live, but that nigga, only a live nigga like that nigga wants me to do this Friday thing for real. Okay? This portion of the show, how much does IVF cost for black men, is sponsored by that nigga. Let's go.
So IVF is, it starts with the base price pretty much. And your base price includes a certain number of things. And then everything you want added on top of that are additional costs. So I'm going to break down what my package came with my doctor. So I also included some consultation questions in my IVF journal. So you can go down, it's a checklist to see what's covered, what's not covered. So you won't be blindsided because there will definitely be hidden costs. So I put all of that in my IVF journal. So as you go to each doctor, you can ask them what's included, what's not included, and get a clear overview before you even, decide to go with that doctor. So I kid you not, I try to make this journal as helpful as possible because I wish I would have had it going into it. So me being that creative mind and that lawyer, I'm trying to think ahead.
So she's a creative mind and a lawyer, but her pussy had to do IVF. Stay focused. Give a fuck about all that other shit. You see what she did, right, guys? She was a lawyer in her 20s. Okay. Look what it got her. It got her a nice bed. I love them beds with them big headboards and all that, all the pillows and stuff. Got all the fly shit. Let's go.
So that's why I created this journal. So our IVF package, the initial package, which my package included 5 blood work tests, 6 ultrasounds, anesthesia for the egg retrieval, because that's what you have to go under. It included ICSI for up to 9 eggs. And if you don't know what ICSI is, I explained it in my last video. But if you're going through IVF at this point, you probably kind of got an idea of it. Also included assisted hatching, also embryo freezing up to 8 embryos for 6 months. It also included the egg retrieval process and a fresh embryo transfer. All of that was included in my base price.
That's the base price, guys. All of that info is the base price. So when they say base, you can always have a premium, right? Ain't premium better? So let's go.
And a fresh embryo transfer. All of that was included in my base price. And that base price for the IVF cycle is $9,859.
$9,859 without the guarantee of a good transfer. Why? Because I've showed you videos where they said this is my second cycle, this is my third cycle. I've showed you K. Michelle where she had to discard children that had deformities. So all of this money is still for not a guarantee, guys. But that's why she a lawyer. So she could pay for her baby. Let's go. She could pay for her baby. Don't ask me to explain everything. I just won't.
For the IVF cycle,
bitch ain't shit. Fuck you need to know.
Is $9,859 just for the base price. So let's talk about hidden costs, and then I'm gonna tell you what we actually had to pay.
Oh, hidden costs, not premium, hidden costs. Okay. So when you talk about hidden costs and miscellaneous, like, these bitches, certain pillows and throwaway clothes. God, let's go.
Extra for. So a lot of times the costs you don't think about, or the costs that are actually, additional costs, various consultation fees. So normally
various consultation fees. So after you get, or after you spend $10,000 to get your base package, you got to continuously go back to these doctors and talk. Am I doing it right? What are we supposed to do? Is this going well? And they're charging you for that. Let's see how much that is. This is just to put your eggplant in some box, nut in it, and have some babies. This is what Black women have done to us, okay?
that are actually, additional costs. Various consultation fees. So normally fertility doctor does cost you consultation fees, and that can be anywhere from, $200, $300. It's the price ranges. In our case, we actually had went to a doctor that was covered under our insurance for a specialist doctor, and so we only had to pay a $30 deductible, and she referred us to our IVF doctor, and because they were across the hall from each other and it was a referral, he didn't charge us a consultation fee, but we had to pay the $30 deductible for the specialist that we had saw. Keep that in mind. So if you go consult 3 or 4 different fertility doctors, if each of those consultations are $250, I think my doctor's was $200 or $250, that's $1,000 right there just in consultation fees. Keep that in mind. So
we had 10,000 already. Let's go.
Your medication costs are not included, and we're going to go into that. So sometimes your hidden cost includes egg storage. Your blood work usually is not included. It was not.
Egg storage, very important factor. Who froze their eggs? Kendra G, a long time. K. Michelle, a long time. Ebony K. Williams. Now, when you heard what she said, when you store these eggs, it's 6 months. It's a 6-month lease. So every 6 months you got to pay for the eggs to stay frozen.
So sometimes your hidden cost includes egg storage. Your blood work usually is not included. It was not included in ours. Additional ultrasound, your HSG, which we had did before coming to the doctor, but we did have to pay out of pocket for it. So I did include it in our expense tracker. Your semen analysis is usually an additional cost. PGS testing was not included in ours and is usually an additional cost. And
semen analysis. This is one of the prices. This is, let me just say this. Semen analysis is semen analysis is the price that Black women have reduced Black men to. So and they take pride in this. Pay attention. They take pride in, no, I got my donor. I know who my donor is. See, that's a pride thing. See? But she got a whole husband that she reduced to that. Man can't even fuck you. But a lot of women take pride and they know who their donors are, because these poor bitches, I told y'all, they're getting people from Istanbul. They're getting donors from goddamn Turkey. Yo, and they're putting it in their Black pussy. And they're saying, that's a Black baby. These people.
PGS testing is when they test for chromosomal normal.
Nah, ain't no such thing as freezer burn. This is new technology, baby.
To make sure embryos have normal chromosomes in them and they're not abnormal. And
make sure that the embryos have normal chromosomes and are not abnormal. Very, very important factor in this whole process. And this is after you spent that 10,000. Let's go.
Embryos. So they test to make sure embryos have normal chromosomes in them and they're not abnormal. And they also can give you a gender testing, gender reveal too. We didn't pay for that. We didn't add that on. So we didn't know the gender or anything. I think our office, the PGS testing was maybe another, I can't remember, what was it? I don't see how much.
Look at this. Look at what she's doing to have a baby. Black people. We're Black, bro. We supposed to be the dominant gene. They have ruined it. It will never be that again. Africa, yeah. But this shit here? Oh, hell no. Look at what she's doing. She's going through paperwork for pregnancy. That shit don't make sense. Paperwork and cash. Doctors and needles, medications and libations and deformities. Man.
We didn't pay for that. We didn't add that on. So we didn't know the gender or anything. I think our office, the PGS testing was maybe another, I Can you remember what was it? I don't see how much.
This all I ever try to teach you niggas. Yes, she got the expensive wig. She got this bitch ain't shit. All these bitch. This is what you using your smarts for. This is what you're using your smarts for. This is why we be like, yo, these black women ain't shit. You ain't gonna use your smarts so we can have this store and all this other shit. Nah, I went and got my law degree. I don't do all of that nigga shit. But right. And you're also not doing the nigga shit of being able to just fucking have a baby. Gotcha.
Just testing was maybe another. Can you remember what was it? I don't see how much because we didn't get.
This is what happens when you let people say, "Yo, I'm out of that nigga shit." I think we got something, that nigga. Hold on. I think we got something here. So, bitches often say, "Nah, that ain't with all that ghetto shit." We're gonna have to agree, because this ain't ghetto. And nobody in the ghetto want to go through this shit to have a baby. I'm sorry. This ain't ghetto at all. So yeah, she ain't ghetto.
We didn't add that on. So we didn't know the gender or anything. I think our office, the PTS testing was maybe another. Can you remember what was it? I don't see how much because we didn't get it. But if I'm not mistaken, it may have been, I would think it was between like 3,000 and 5,000 for the PGS testing. And
okay, so we have 15,000. I'm not doing the 4. I'm gonna say the 5. I'm taking all of the pluses on this. So we have 15,000 right now.
If I'm not mistaken, it may have been, I would think it was between like 3,000 and 5,000 for the PGS testing. And a lot of times, if you're over the age of 35, they do recommend it. But because I was younger than that, my doctor didn't recommend it. Keep that in mind because that will put the bill up higher. So there.
Okay, so she didn't do it. We had 10,000.
Can definitely be additional costs on top of that base cost, as well as quote hidden costs that you don't know of or don't think.
Hey, HD Live, I want to let you know something. First of all, I'll take care of you with your stuff. But I need you to know something, HD Live. Class is serious today. That nigga is the sponsor of the show. He hit the Cash App. Do so as well. But that nigga ain't playing today. He said, you thought it was going to be a breeze. That nigga said, yo, HD Live, brother, just breeze on, man. I sponsored the show. Let's go.
The additional costs on top of that base cost, as well as quote hidden costs that you don't know of or don't think of and don't know until you get there. So we actually had to pay extra for ICSI because we had more than 9 eggs that needed.
And this show HD Live is about how much it costs to have a baby with a black woman nowadays, because you just can't stick your eggplant in her box anymore. Let's go.
As well as quote hidden costs that you don't know of or don't think of and don't know until you get there. So we actually had to pay extra for ICSI because we had more than 9 eggs that needed ICSI. We had 13. And then we also had to pay for additional embryo freezing longer than 6 months because 6 months was included in the base price, but to hold on to them for the rest of the year, we had to pay. And then we also had to end up paying for a frozen transfer because even though the base included a fresh transfer, we couldn't get the fresh because I had mild OHSS, which I discussed previously in the past video. So we had to come back and do a frozen. So that's an additional fee with our doctor. And also keep in mind that most times insurance does not cover infertility cost. About 60% of people will have to pay out of pocket, and then some insurance covers some of the items, some of.
I had just saw something on the news the other day out here in New York. They just got 1.38 million to do abortions at Westchester Medical. That's up there in White Plains, New York. They just got 1.38 million to do abortions at Westchester Medical. Okay, these people ain't playing with y'all. And the black woman, what does she do? Feed into it. Stupid bitch.
Out of pocket, And then some insurance covers some of the items, some of the blood work or some things here and there, but they may not cover everything. And then you have a few companies that do cover infertility, and they're very few and rare between. So if your company does, take advantage and be super grateful because all our costs were out of pocket, and that's so rare for companies to cover infertility. So be so appreciative and so grateful.
She said it herself. All of our costs were out of pocket, but she might be talking about a different portion because she got 10,000. She said something about insurance earlier. So the first 10,000 to start everything was through the insurance. Now this other stuff that she's talking about, freezing and cosmetics and stuff like that, she has to pay out of pocket, but she's a lawyer.
And that's so rare for companies to cover infertility. So be so appreciative and so grateful and take advantage of it. This is what it costs us. Not saying this is what it's going to cost you, but it'll kind of give you an idea of the pricing. I'm going to go line by line. So again, I told you our IVF cycle was $9,859.
$9,800 plus some other stuff. She had to pay $30 5 times. So we put that at $10,000.
Our blood work, which we both had to have done, was $554.
They both had to do blood work, so we had 10.5.
Prescribed prenatals, because we both actually had to get prescribed vitamins, which were super expensive, but that's what our doctor wanted us on, and that's what we bought. And so
clearly the man didn't need the vitamins, but they got money. Yo, like, you know how it is when you running a business or you're selling something or anything. You can see a sucker Oh, y'all got money like that? Yo, won't y'all take these vitamins? It's gonna make everything better. And that's something that us Black people, that's something that we never really wanted to incorporate. We don't look at people like that as good people or bad people. We just say, damn, we never wanted to sell people bullshit. That's something us Black people never really got into. Oh, y'all got money? Look, take these vitamins. Let me tell you, they're expensive, but let me tell you something. It will make everything better, I promise. And they like, okay, let's pay. Just ring it up. Shit is crazy.
Super expensive, but that's what our doctor wanted us on, and that's what we bought. And so the prescribed prenatals and vitamins was $637.
So we had 1,100. I mean, 11,100.
Our doctor visit deductible for that consultation was $30, and then all of my meds to go through the entire round of IVF was $5,281.
So we had 16,000 to have a baby with this lawyer Black bitch. All right, we had 16,000, y'all. Let's go.
And to go through the entire round of IVF was $5,281. And my husband meds that he had to take was $40. And then I had to do an SIS procedure, and that was $425. That was before I could even start the process. Then his
16.5 before we could start the process. 16.5 before we can start the process dealing with Black bitches nowadays. You heard? Who they think paying for this? I'm Gucci. I'd rather get a surrogate mother, but you see, they never use that as an option because they're selfish. You're damn right. You're damn right. You're damn right. But why? Why should a Black man be reduced to 16.5 before this bitch could even get a baby in her belly and I can't fuck her? Why should a Black man be reduced to that, son? How the fuck you make it your whole life? I know you didn't grow up thinking you was doing that once you made your money. I know it. HD Live, he would never waste his money. That nigga would never. Bro, I'd rather go to the hood. You hear me? And fuck me somebody. I'd rather go fuck a Mexican. I'd rather do anything than fuck with these Black bitches if I got to do this. Okay? We always say Black bitches think they're better than Dominicans and Mexicans. Well, yeah, you grew up in America. You get to wear their hair and all that. You get to do all this other shit, but they are poor and they make healthy babies. Guess how much they don't have to spend to get pregnant? 16.5. How are you better than them? Yo, I get upset, man. I'm sorry. Let's move on, man.
My husband's semen analysis was $205.
16.7.
And the HSG that I told you guys I had previously, we paid $500 for that.
What? 17. I'm gonna just round it up. 17,000.
Frozen embryo transfer, which again was a separate charge because we had to go back and get a frozen transfer. That was $3,800.
21,000. 21,000. Let's go.
charge because we had to go back and get a frozen transfer. That was $3,800. Our ultrasounds, we did have to have an additional ultrasound because our package included 6, and we had to have an additional one, so that was $250. And then we also had to pay for ICSI for those 4 eggs because we had 13.
I know, brothers. I know. You ain't wake up thinking you was gonna. I know you didn't wake up thinking you was gonna hear this stupid shit. Let's go.
Had to pay for ICSI for those 4 eggs because we had 13, and our package included ICSI for up to 9 eggs, and we had 13, so we had to pay for the 4 additional, and that was another $200. And then we had embryo storage that was past the 6 months to finish off the year.
That was past the 6 months. Remember, you only get a 6 months lease on your egg freezer. They only do 6 months lease. They know how to fleece these people. That's how desperate black bitches are.
And that was another $200. And then we had embryo storage that was past the 6 months to finish off the year. And the embryo storage was $375. And then parking, believe it or not, yeah, we had to pay to park every time we go to the doctor's office. So we spent $50 in parking. So
we had $22,000.
All of that was for a complete round of IVF and a frozen embryo transfer. Okay, we had no help, and our total was, drama please, $22,200.
Bitch, can we count? Can we count or what? Can we count or what? Yeah. Can we count this pussy? Hey, King, can we count this pussy? We can count, but baby, you talking to the wrong niggas. We know what you did last summer. We can count very well. Yo, this bitch ain't shit. And I keep telling y'all, what is the most important part of most black bitches IVF? Not the money. The fact that they have a husband, so they know their donor. Because other cheap bitches can't afford it. They don't know their donor. They go get any kind of donation. That's the only pride they take in this shit. Yo, you want to see some ain't shit people?
All of that was for a complete round of IVF and a frozen embryo transfer. Okay, we had no help, and our total.
Hold on, let's get to the comments, man. It's crazy. Y'all niggas ain't shit. It's crazy how they even subject the husband to all of these medical treatments because their box is fucked up. That's all that we're trying to get black men to understand. I believe once black men understand that, they will be like, yo, these bitches ain't shit. I need to move accordingly. I need to know what this box is like. Because that is the only thing that makes us, I would say, love on a bitch. Okay, you ain't shit, but you always fucking on me. Okay, but you don't get to monitor my eggplant. You don't get to run that, oh, what are we shit? Damn, $250 to get your box checked is crazy. And no happy ending afterwards is wild. Good point. Now remember, while she's going through the IVF cycle, you can't fuck her because you can't have double semen in her. That means pre-cum. You see? It's very important. You cannot have sex. You can't let that pre-cum and all that stuff drip down. Because all of a sudden, with her badass pussy, now you'll fuck it up. Brothers.
Total was, drama please, $22,206. Yeah, that's a car. I mean, that's a lot. And we had to pay out of pocket and all cash. Our doctor, it depends on your doctor's office and stuff. Some stuff you can put on a credit card and some you can't. But like our big bills, like the package, the 9,000 package and the frozen embryo package, those had to be cash. Debit card, money order, like that's just to give me an idea.
And they taking cash. They are not waiting for money. They can't be frauded. They are not playing. It's like going to buy crack. You know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't taking no credit card. We need that cash right now. Why? Because you desperate. Sad, son.
Frozen embryo package, those had to be cash. Debit card, money order, like that's just to give me an idea. So to be prepared and to be ready. I'm not saying that's what you're going to have to pay. Now, there are ways to bring the cost down, and there are programs that do help out, such as I think it's compassionate care, but we didn't qualify for that.
That's fucked up. Damn. She said that's a car knowing damn well she would not drive a $23,000 car. I agree. I agree. But my question was, do black men choose to get reduced to $23,000 for a baby that they didn't fuck to create? And it ain't a guarantee. And you don't know how the baby's coming out. Now, that's what they reduce the black man to. That's what black women do. That, brothers, come on, y'all. Come on. Let's just stop the show for a second. Fuck this. We ain't in no rush. Let's stop the show. How could you reduce us to that? Because we rock with black women. How do black women get to talk this shit on the internet? Because they ain't shit. Knowing that all they do is try to reduce a man with money. Reduce him. That's all they are set out to do. Whether it's through, financial, emotional, they're looking to reduce brothers. And that shit is fucked up. Why, Prince? Because they're trying to reduce it and then bring forth a reduced offspring. That shit ain't right. Can't even have a healthy baby. Fucking.
Her womb is so polluted. I can't even have a fucking little baby with her.
Way back when Scarface, what Scarface do? He went and got the bitch that he thought was a bad bitch. He thought she was a bad bitch. He thought she was wholesome, son. After he marries the bitch.
Her womb is so polluted. I can't even have a fucking little baby with her.
Now, I wanted to play that. We're going to do that later. We're going to play that full scene. Okay? We're going to play that full Scarface scene. Scarface, he was talking shit about her the whole time. See what I'm saying? But when he said her womb is so polluted, I can't have a fucking little baby, that's when she threw the drink at him. She threw the drink at his face after he told Manolo about her Pussycat Facts report. Exposed. You heard me? And what she want to do? Tell how he's a drug dealer, snitch. You understand? All because her pussy ain't shit. Fuck that nigga legacy up, son. Bitches ain't shit, man. When the fuck y'all gonna get it? And it's so fucked up because look, I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna try to talk to bitches and everything. And I know all the information because I don't let myself have that full hatred for these hoes, B. Because I know they was just programmed. They just so stupid. So I still go outside and I look at bitches with the sexy eye and I love them and I'm going to try to talk to a couple of them, whatever. But I know you ain't shit. Shit is wild, B. Yes, because they be hung up on box and how she looks, not how healthy the box is. And we shouldn't have had to. We thought they was living like we was because they talk that shit. So we thought they was living healthy like us. Now we all do our things, but we try to be healthy. When we show these videos, these bitches, the doctor said, yo, she got to fix her diet. The bitch said, well, I tried and I couldn't keep it up. I mean, come on. We thought they were holding it down. This is why I call them double agents. They have an agenda, but they can be flipped to you doing. It's crazy how you got to show her she's evil and then hope she change. That's why we said, no, we ain't doing all that. We know you evil. We showing you evil. Now, when it comes to the change part, we always say, do you think that bitch could fix her diet for the sake of her pussy? Do you think she could do right for the sake of her pussy? Then you say, okay, let's give a bitch a chance. Then you go on YouTube and you find all these bitches do. Well, I'm on my holistic journey. I'm at a lifestyle change. And they try. I'm doing yoga. I'm going to the spin class, and they try. They try. But guess what's happening? The other friends are going on girls' trips, and she could go too. So she just go. What the bitch say? I was doing right, but my birthday was coming up, so we went and we did it. We lit it. We lit up the night. Just straight stupid shit. I would have never caught that in the movie until after these classes. I'm gonna play that scene for you niggas later, B. Niggas gonna learn this work, B. Niggas gonna learn this work, B. It's a beautiful, it's such a beautiful scene, man. She threw the drink on Tony after he talked about her pussy to Manolo. Brothers had camaraderie over her badass pussy. That bitch got upset. Why? Why? Tony Montana had everything. He can't even have a fucking little baby. Is an embarrassment to him. Come on, man. So what do these bitches do? Like they always do. Move the goalpost. They can have an IVF now.
So we actually had.
So would Tony had to pay $20,000 to get his bitch pregnant? Yes, because he loved the bitch. That's what they do. And whose fault was it? Tony. He wanted the bitch.
To be ready. I'm not saying that's what.
But it also wasn't his fault because we as men think that bitches carry themselves healthy. Okay? That's what they supposed to do. You ain't supposed to be doing all the wild shit that we do. But we know that our black bitches do the wild shit that we do.
Debit card, money order, like that's just to give you an idea. So to be prepared and to be ready. I'm not saying that's what you're going to have to pay. Now, there are ways to bring the cost down, and there are programs that do help out, such as I think it's Compassion Care, but we didn't qualify for that. So we actually had to end up paying everything out of pocket. I think we got a little bit of refund on the medicine, rebates on the medicine, maybe $100, maybe like $200 or $300 rebate on some medicines at that time. But this is what we overall paid. And then also keep in mind, this was with a successful run all the way through. So just imagine if the embryo didn't stick to my lining, I would have to do another frozen embryo transfer. So I have to go take another one of my frozen embryos and put it back in my body. And that would be a whole nother round of frozen embryo transfer. So you got the medicines that come with that, plus all the ultrasounds, the blood work, plus, paying for another frozen embryo transfer. So that could easily tag on another $5,000. And some people have to go back and do 3-4 frozen embryo transfers before.
Very important fact. Some people have to do 3 and 4 transfers because their pussy is that bad. And like I said earlier, man, that nigga sponsored this bullshit I'm gonna put y'all through today. I told y'all, and y'all always laugh at me when I tell y'all, yo, do this bitch care what kind of baby she give that hardworking, successful man, healthy man? And everybody always says, they say no, but they also laugh at me. How you know how the baby, brother? They got it out there. I just don't want to play it yet because I don't want to break hearts. I tell you, I never want to gross you guys out, but y'all niggas, I got the info, and it's not gonna be pretty. But we gonna keep it live, man. They will give you anything. Yo, these people ain't shit to the core. They took the black pussy and used it as a piece of shit.
Where they get the embryo to stick to their body to become pregnant. And that adds up. It definitely adds up. So every doctor is different. Some gives you packages, others don't. IVF costs can cost anywhere from $10,000 to up to $40,000. The range is so wide, but you need to know this before going into it because finances can definitely mess you up. It can stress you out. It can put a strain on your marriage, a strain on your family. So knowing this before going into it is so helpful for you. When you're going to doctor's offices, it will be good to know, hey, what's covered, what's not covered. Compare your costs with each doctor. We went ultimately with who we were most comfortable with, but he was also the most reasonable in our area, and we're in Atlanta. But it wasn't just because of price. We loved him anyway because his personality was amazing, but it was also because his prices were most reasonable as well. And we got pregnant in the first round. So just because, I think some doctor's offices give you like a guarantee.
All right. Don't worry, guys. I'm here. We will take our time. because you know this is just the first class. I got many things lined up, but we just talking about, you know, we could talk about the box, but you also want to see the mindset of these horrible people. What you talking about, Prince? Their pussy, King. How they operate with their pussy.
Hello. Get ready with me to do my nighttime skincare routine while I tell you guys a little bit more of my update in regards to my TTC journey. So it's officially the start of the 2-week wait. I bought this new fertility monitor called Inido, and it hasn't confirmed ovulation yet, but my peak was yesterday, so I'm either 0 DPO today or 1 DPO. So yeah, basically my 2-week wait just started. So this cycle we're gonna start doing progesterone suppositories. So it's gonna be fun. I've been treating a lot of
She said we're gonna do progesterone suppositories. It's gonna be fun. They reduced you niggas to
suppositories. So it's gonna be fun. I've been treating a lot of reviews and stuff, and it's not fun. So hopefully it doesn't get back to me. So according to the instructions, I need to take 2 suppositories per day, and I started today. So let's see if that helps. That's gonna be something different that we're gonna try for this cycle. Because like I mentioned in the previous videos, my progesterone was kind of funky after I confirmed ovulation. So my doctor just wanted to see if that'll help, at least to see if I know.
Yo, homie, let me tell y'all something. When I got my bitches pregnant, all we did was just went to the doctor. We ain't go through all this bullshit. We just went to the doctor. Okay? So all we did wasn't all this extra shit.
3 chlamydia symptoms you should know about. Chlamydia is one of the most common STIs out there. Number 1, pain or burning when urinating. Number 2, abnormal discharge from the penis or the vagina. Number 3, lower abdominal or pelvic floor pain. These are cramps. Chlamydia is easily treatable with.
I know, guys. I know.
Chlamydia, the STI. If you've ever had this, it could have made your PCOS symptoms worse. For those of you who watch my content and know me, you know that I look at science and how to help your PCOS. And I sometimes go down rabbit holes and I find the weirdest and wonderful things linked to PCOS. But this has to be one of the weirdest rabbit holes that I have been down. And it is an interesting one. So chlamydia and PCOS, you would not have think that they are linked, but they are. Okay, so again, I did not expect to be doing a video on chlamydia and PCOS, but it kind of makes sense when I'm digging down into it. So chlamydia is actually the most reported STI in the US and in the UK, so it could be elsewhere as well. And we don't really know how this affects us. We can get chlamydia.
Stop the show.
And then get given the...
Stop the show. Just remember, guys. Remember some important factors. And we use black women as the example, but you could call it white as well. She said US and the UK. And we know that the US and the UK has the worst pussy. But these people think that they're better than damn illegal immigrants that march through dirty waters and jungles. They don't have the same pussy condition as you, boo. But you think you're better than them. You think you're better than the bitches in the DR, better than the bitches in Colombia. You're not. Only bitches that the bitches in the US is better than is Africa, unfortunately. Only reason I don't play all of the African fibroids and PCOS stuff because we can't really understand them bitches. They talk funny. But it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. They all think they can be rock stars with their box. Well, don't get mad when it's mosh pitted, right? And more importantly, don't get mad because we know.
Chlamydia actually does to us. It can cause PID, pelvic inflammatory disease, and it can.
I told y'all, pelvic inflammatory disease, usually caused by chlamydia and gonorrhea. What does that do? It's an infection that, you know, after the antibodies and you don't keep up with it or whatever the case is, it will climb up and spread to your fallopian tube where it will harden and it will create a blockage where once you get pregnant, the baby will get stuck in there. It's called an ectopic pregnancy. And a lot of bitches are suffering with that and they don't tell the husband why. And then they get their fallopian tube removed. Then they got his ass going to get an IVF pregnancy or some other shit, you know? But it's from chlamydia and gonorrhea. These bitches ain't shit, man.
Cause PID, pelvic inflammatory disease, and it can also cause scarring that can affect your fertility. But that's not what I'm talking about here. This is actually talking about increasing your inflammation, making your PCOS symptoms worse. And just a little statistic here for you. So the most common STI in the UK is chlamydia. Okay, and at the end of this rabbit hole that I went down when I was searching about this, weirdly, I still can't believe it, it showed here that chronic inflammation, which is associated with chlamydial infections, could contribute to the pathogenic process that led to the metabolic and hormonal disorders of PCOS. Now, in turn...
That's something. So they basically saying bitches that caught chlamydia, it could have gave them PCOS. This is a new rabbit hole.
That led to the metabolic and hormonal disorders of PCOS. Now, in turn, I also read on here, it's on the same study, that what chlamydia does is it raises something called your CRP, which is your C-reactive protein. Now, we know that a lot of our symptoms do come from inflammation. Raise CRP.
Where do you get inflammation from? See, that's where we start to say, well, we're the educated ones. Where's the inflammation coming from, class? Where's the inflammation coming from? Inflammation coming from, class? See, they just say inflammation. No, we know where it comes from. And that's one of the biggest things that we know we can't stop. Okay? Where does the inflammation come from?
And they have found that this is linked. So if you had chlamydia, say, in teenage years or in your early 20s, this could have started the systemic inflammation, meaning that this goes on until it gets worse and worse and worse. So
there you have it. Bitches be, bitches go through a lot. We know that, right? They go through some eggplants. They be getting some STIs. And they just carry that dark pussy around on you niggas. I keep telling y'all that.
Really, this is just another random fact that you probably didn't know that was quite interesting, that if you've had chlamydia in your early years, then it could have made your PCOS worse. But really, now you know, you need to target inflammation. Chlamydia.
Target inflammation. How can they target inflammation? What is the number one way? Talk to me, class. This show is sponsored by Dat Naga. And guess what's going to happen? We ain't shutting this show down till somebody else sponsor the show with that Naga. We ain't shutting it down till somebody else get with it. But y'all heard the question. What is the inflammation? How can they stop the inflammation? What's the answer?
Bye-bye.
See, this is why I don't do the African bitches, because we can't understand them. The only people that USA and UK got better pussies than is the Africans. Can't understand the bitches, but I know enough to know that they got some fucked up pussy. I could tell you that much.
Okay, so I recently received this question about chlamydia and gonorrhea, if it can go away on its own and not cause lasting effects if not treated. 1, it will eventually cause issues, okay, if not treated. Gonorrhea and chlamydia must be treated with antibiotics in order for it to go away. Just because it does not show up as a symptom today does not mean it cannot cause pelvic inflammatory disease, lasting pelvic pain, and biggest of all, infertility. So it can affect your tubes, which can essentially lead to you not being able to have children in the future. So no, gonorrhea and chlamydia will eventually affect you, even if you don't have symptoms. This is why it's important for you to always get tested when you're having sexual intercourse, okay? Very important for you to always get tested. Symptoms is not an indication that you have.
Ma'am, I just walked in on this, but the first thing I hear is always get tested when you have sex. Ma'am, you should be telling that woman, get married so that you can make sure that you limit your chances. Fuck are you talking about always get tested? She shouldn't be having this many people to be fucking. But that's where we're at, brothers. They got us fucked up. They think that we're stupid. Well, we're not. That's the one thing they don't get. We're not stupid.
Not an indication that you have something. And even sometimes symptoms could just be BV and yeast infection. The only way to know is to get tested. Okay, so I recently received this question about chlamydia.
Damn. I just fucked up, guys.
And not cause lasting effects if not treated. 1, it will eventually cause issues, okay, if not treated. Gonorrhea and chlamydia must be treated with antibiotics in order for it to go away. Just because it does not show
Give me a moment.
today does not mean it cannot cause pelvic inflammatory disease, lasting pelvic pain.
Give me a moment.
And biggest of all, infertility. So it can affect your
infertility, baby. Infertility. Do you ever thought that the black woman will be stuck with that? I just want to do this just as a quick commercial break, sponsored by Dat Nega. Let's go. Quick commercial break.
Chlamydia. Read my fucking shirt, bitch. Guess what, bitch? I have chlamydia. All right, for real though. Who the fuck gave it to me? I was with my ex in February. Okay, boom. February was with my ex a few times for the first few weeks. Okay, boom. Wasn't with anyone the rest of February. Then March came. Beginning of March was with my sneaky link. Which one of you motherfuckers gave it to me? It was one of you. It was one of you. At least it's just chlamydia. Like, I never would have thought I would have said that before, but it's curable, you know what I mean? I've shared a lot with you guys over the past few days. I did not think I'd be sharing chlamydia. Everything happens for a reason. That's why I got my birth control taken out. My mom said, damn, you okay? No. No. And then I just found out that I'm stuck here. Well, I'm not stuck, but I'm here all day. Okay, so I'll definitely take my mind off the chlamydia. Here's the thing. They call me. My phone's ringing, and I'm like, oh, it's just the OB-GYN. And then I said, hold on. It's just the OB-GYN. I was there 2 days ago, bitch. What STD do I got? So I pick up the phone. She's like, hey, Julia, I'm just calling. 2 things. 2, bitch? What is it? She said, okay, so, there was some bacteria. I said, okay, BV? I don't give a fuck. I never had BV before, but there's a first for everything. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. Forgot there was even a second part. Okay? Then she goes, okay, so the second thing is you have chlamydia. Bitch, I almost hung up the phone. I said, are you kidding me? She said, no, I wouldn't.
Now, who that remind you of? Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish with her badass pussy. That's who it reminds you of. You heard? Yo, these people, man. Some bad people. Some bad people, man. It's all about acting out like Tiffany Haddish and all that dumb shit.
Doctors and some specialists.
You know Harbor Freight for affordability, but durability goes right along with it. You see, we
just to kind of check on how everything is. After my first appointment with the IVF specialist, we ran some tests and we were given some information.
Now, when this woman's husband met her, it was no way in hell he didn't think that he wasn't going to do him. You hear me? When that man met this bitch, he said, yo, I'm doing me on this pussy. That man said, yo, I'm going to do me with this pussy. You heard me? But look what ended up happening.
Information that we would need to go through IVF because it would be really hard to get pregnant naturally.
Look what happened. The reason we went IVF because it would be really hard to get pregnant naturally. Why? Guys, you know what this story is. The man met that woman and said, I'm going in on this pussy. We gonna have us some babies. Yeah, everything that I wanted. He thought he had a good thing, man. Man thought he had a good thing.
We ran some tests and we were given some information that we would need to go through IVF because it would be really hard to get pregnant naturally. At the
You know what?
time,
You know what? One more time.
through IVF. After my first appointment with the IVF specialist, we ran some tests and we were given some information that we would need to go through IVF because it would be really hard to get pregnant naturally.
Pay attention to that. The doctor told them we would have to do XYZ because it would be really hard to do ABC. Pay attention to that. I gotta stop. I gotta put a different clip up for you really quick. See, because she's not gonna tell you why. She's not gonna tell you why. She's just gonna say, "Oh, it's really hard to go pregnant naturally." Well, let's show some people that can tell her story, being that she ain't nothing but a lying bitch.
Moved to Virginia, and the talking our relationship is sort of like baby talk. We really want to have a child, and it slowly progressed from like baby talk to like, yo, we gotta have this baby.
Pay attention. The other bitch said she went to the IVF doctor and the IVF doctor said it would be really hard to have a baby the natural way, but she didn't want to say why, at least to that point. She's supposed to get right into it, but you know why she didn't, because it's going to fall on her. So let's listen to why the doctor told her that through these people. Remember, guys, pussy ain't shit. Listen, y'all niggas.
Pussy whip. I whips pussy.
Pussy ain't shit. We whip pussy. Pussy just there, King. It's supposed to have the baby.
So we seeked out our options, and we went to different doctors, and they gave us different options that we tried, and it was just not working out for us. So we got to a place of desperation where we were like, okay, God, what should we do?
Okay. So remember, the other girl said that the doctor said it's going to be really hard to go natural, but she wouldn't tell us why. Look what the doctors told her why.
So we decided to go and see a specialist at this point.
Yeah. And upon seeing a specialist, we realized that there was issues with Anika's reproductive system.
There were issues with Anika's reproductive system. That's what the other bitch won't tell you. You see what I'm saying, guys? Sometimes you got to piece the content together. Well, it's for class purposes to show you that bitch is a lying bitch. Fuck you mean it's going to really be hard? Well, the doctor told Anika it's because of her reproductive system. And look at how her face drops. But you bitches want to hold face and save face so bad. But nobody don't hear me, though. That's why that nigga sponsored the show and somebody else going to sponsor, because we're not playing. You're not going to lie to my brothers. Look at this healthy black man. This bald-headed bitch with a badass pussy. Yo, that shit is fucked up.
what should we do? So we decided to go and see a specialist at this point.
Yeah. And upon seeing that specialist, we realized that there was issues with Anika's reproductive system. And upon seeing that specialist, we realized that there was issues with Anika's reproductive system.
Head down, bitch. Head down. Stand down, soldier.
Yeah. And upon seeing that specialist, we realized that there was issues with Anika's reproductive system. And
stand proud, black man. Stand proud. Stand proud. Oh, shit.
Her womb is so polluted. I can't even have a fucking little baby with her.
Yo, don't be laughing. Don't fucking laugh. This shit ain't funny. Come on, y'all.
What should we do? So we decided to go and see a specialist at this point.
yeah. And upon seeing that specialist, we realized that there was issues with Anika's reproductive system. And our doctor gave us 3 options. One was in vitro fertilization, which we were like, what is that? Well, at least I was like, what is that? Nika knew what it was. I didn't know what it was. And
I agree. One of the key tools that they use to get good men is to suck that man down. Fuck that man down. Trap him. See if they can get him to this point, accepting my bad box. That's what they fuck you for, King. In the new society. This is the hidden secret of the new society. I'm sorry. Because they know they can't make no baby. So they're trying to trap you. Their pussy have been destroyed since a teenager.
what is that? Well, at least I was like, what is that? One was in vitro fertilization, and our doctor specialists, we realized that there was issues with Anika's reproductive system. And our doctor gave us 3 options. One was in vitro fertilization, which we were like,
now, guess we got a question. Same old question all the time. If you watch YouTube and you try to talk like this about bitches, they'll cuss you out. So, when is the only time that a man can talk about a woman's bad pussy? That's the question.
Doctor gave us 3 options. One was in vitro fertilization, which we were like, what is that? Well, at least I was like, what is that? Nigga knew what it was. I didn't know what it was. And option number 2 was to have surgery. And option 3 was to adopt. And option 3 was just like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
I got with Anika and I go to the doctor and they tell me that I got to adopt a baby. I grew up thinking I could just fucking have a baby. So because I'm with Anika, I got adoption on the table. What have I got myself into?
It was. I didn't know what it was. And option number 2 was to have surgery. And option 3 was to adopt. And option 3 was just like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah, we were just really overwhelmed. Like we were still soaking in the
fact that there was an
the
issue.
results.
Yeah.
Right.
And to like sort of having to make a decision
Mhm.
in terms of which way we're going to go.
Right.
But nevertheless, we decided to go with the surgery option. And the doctor did warn us because he really wanted us to do the in vitro.
Yeah.
He warned us and said, even if you do the surgery and the surgery isn't a success and you do become pregnant, it might not be a viable pregnancy.
It's not yet.
There you go. Question, class. Do you want to still have a baby with this bitch? Yes, she fucked you down. Yes, she sucked you down. Yeah, she does everything for you. Besides pay. You're still paying all the bills. I got to put something in there that ain't working for you. Yeah, and you still paying all the bills. Yeah.
Really wanted us to do the in vitro.
Yeah.
He warned us and said, even if you do the surgery and the surgery isn't a success and you do become pregnant, it might not be a viable pregnancy.
It's not yet. He was like, it's not going to be viable.
Yeah. It was not might. It will not be a viable pregnancy. So we went ahead with the surgery anyway. After the surgery, he told us that you should wait for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or even up to a year to even see if you can possibly have this child. So we every 3 months, I'm like looking like, yo, you pregnant?
Test upon pregnancy test.
So we decided to go on this couples trip with some really good friends of ours.
You guys get it. You pregnant. So they went on this road trip or some couples retreat and some other people had bad pussy, and they was telling them, keep your head up. Let's go.
Bible says that you overcome by the word of your testimony.
Absolutely.
So the fact that we're able to share with them, and the fact that they're able to pour back into us, was like really a big breaking point in our process. So we get back home. We're on our Daniel fast.
I've never been so happy to go on a fast. By the way, I was so excited for this fast.
She was so excited for the fast. Class, why was she so excited for the fast after the doctor told her that info?
But she was happy. She was happy about going on the fast. And
I asked y'all the same fucking question when we was watching the white bitch. Y'all didn't answer. When the white bitch was saying how getting the chlamydia and contributing to the PCOS, which is inflamed. And I asked y'all the same question. How can they get unflamed? Or what is the thing that they can do to stop adding gasoline to the flame? I asked y'all that question. And here was the answer, guys. Since you niggas don't want to talk to me.
In our process. So we get back home. We're on our Daniel fast.
I've never been so happy to go on a fast, by the way.
Never been so happy to want to fast. Why? Because she was inflamed. Okay, guys? So that's the answer. Let's go.
We get back home. We're on our Daniel fast.
I've never been so happy to go on a fast, by the way. I was so excited for this fast.
But she was happy. She was happy about going on the fast. And we come back home. We're on this high, and we go on a fast. And 21 days later, tell me what happened.
21 days. I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'll never forget. And I took a pregnancy test. And I just remember yelling for Joshua. Joshua ran in. He looked at the test. It was positive, y'all. He started rejoicing. And I was there like, I want to take another test.
Balling. I was reduced to tears. Not only because she was pregnant, because that was the biggest thing, but just because God was so faithful. Like, I think I hugged her and went to pray.
You
did.
Right?
Like you're in a fast, so you're in the motions. But it was just a point to rejoice.
Yes.
And honestly, I never thought about what the doctor said, which you were thinking about.
Absolutely. That's the only thing I was thinking about.
Yeah, remember the doctor had told us that even if she gets pregnant, it would not be a viable pregnancy, right? So Anika's thinking about that. I'm rejoicing. So we call the doctor up. We tell him what's going on, and he tells us we got to come back to go see him in Virginia. So we fly back to Virginia. Anika's a worrywart, so she's worrying the whole time about.
Because I want to make sure that my baby's good.
Yeah, for sure, and it's important that the baby's good. But we went there, and I think we made him a believer.
Yeah, he was. We went there, and he did the examination.
Yeah, you have it, guys. I bitch will give you anything burger. Bitch ain't shit, B. Shit is crazy what they put in my blood. Black, white, don't matter. American and UK.
At the time, I didn't think it was such a big deal. I was like, yeah, this is going to totally work. Whatever, this is minor. I was always grateful that we had access to information, science, medicine, experts. I think that makes a huge difference.
I was always happy that we have information, science, technology. I think that makes a huge difference because my pussy bad and I can't conceive naturally. That's fucked up.
With the IVF specialist, we ran some tests and we were given some information that we would need to go through IVF because it would be really hard to get pregnant naturally. At the time, I didn't think it was such a big deal. I was like, yeah, this is going to totally work. Whatever, this is minor. I was always grateful that we had access to information, science, medicine, experts. I think that makes a huge difference. We started the journey. I started with the IVF, and not sure if you guys know, but there's a lot of needles involved that go in your stomach. It's not the easiest thing to go through. But in my head, I was 100% sure. I was this is going to work. I think the success rate for IVF is 45%. And I was I'm still young. I'm healthy. This is going to work. And I was positive about it. I like to always kind of have this frame of mind of just being positive.
I believe you. I believe you. I believe you for two reasons. Most women do want to have a positive frame of mind once their pussy double crosses them because of their own choices and lifestyles. And the other reason I believe that you want to be positive about this is because you know you cannot close the deal with a good, successful man that you lied and deceived of him thinking that you could just have a baby. That man did not make all that money to go through this shit. He just wanted to fucking make children. So I know that you have a positive outlook. You want this shit to work.
Young, I'm healthy. This is gonna work, and I was positive about it. I like to always kind of have this frame of mind of just being positive when I'm going into anything that I do. This was about 2 years ago. You could say my IVF was successful, and I wasn't surprised. I was like, oh, okay, this is not as hard as I thought. Like, sure, the needles were painful. Basically what they do is they extract eggs from your body and they fertilize them. On average, women get like 10 to 15 eggs if they have like healthy eggs. For us, we had 1 egg that made it. So it took about 2 months to do my IVF process. And in the end, we had that 1 egg. So we were just counting on the egg.
Most women have 12 eggs, 7 eggs. This bad pussy bitch, yo, this bitch ain't shit, son. Let me tell y'all something. She just told y'all most bitches got 7 and 12 eggs. We heard the other bitch say she had a bunch of eggs. This bitch got 1 egg. Class. What you're not going to do, you're not going through IVF, or I will personally show up in your dreams. But if you was going through IVF, would you want to be regulated or reduced to 1 chance, 1 egg? Yeah, that's crazy. Ma'am, how you got 1 egg in your reserve? Unbelievable.
1 egg that made it. So it took about 2 months.
Okay, 1 egg made it. Okay, 1 egg made it. Okay, so she had more. 1 egg made it.
For us, we had 1 egg that made it. So it took about 2 months to do my IVF process. And in the end, we had that 1 egg. So we were just counting on the egg working. And I was very positive about it. And so when they implanted the egg back in my body, just like I thought, 2 weeks later, I got a positive pregnancy test. It was like, wow, I'm pregnant. I can't wait. This wasn't as hard as I thought.
There you go, guys. That's what technology has done. Reduced you niggas. You niggas are literally a nut trying to squirrel around. They reduced you niggas, man, for a bunch of money, though.
I was doing all of this in London, and I remember coming back to Dubai pregnant. I remember my parents and just like everybody being so excited and happy, including me. I started to think about what I wanted to name my baby. Your mind just kind of starts preparing for this new chapter. It was the happiest time of my life. At that very same time, I got news that someone very close to me was struggling with health issues. And I remember that kind of shook my world. And I was trying to kind of stay positive about being pregnant. I didn't want to become too upset. When you're on all of these hormones and needles, you start getting like extra emotional. So one day I was filming some stories, doing a makeup tutorial. I felt like there was something wrong. I didn't feel well, dizzy, a bit faintish. About 6 weeks into my pregnancy, I just looked down and realized that I was having a miscarriage because I was bleeding everywhere and I could not believe it. After having gone through so much, I remember just like sitting on the floor, looking at like all the blood and just being like praying, just being like, God, there is no way I'm not losing my baby. This cannot be the case. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it. And we rushed to the hospital because it was a lot of blood. The doctor told me that I was still pregnant and the baby was still inside my body. I felt really happy and I went home and I was like happy and I was like, it's all going to plan. It's just like a little hiccup.
So, do any man want to have a baby like that? Come on, man. Oh, man. I know, guys. I know. But guess what she's going to do? What's she going to do, class? She going to have that baby anyway. Don't give a fuck.
So this definitely wasn't the video I was planning to share this week, but I am opening up about my miscarriage, and I'm sharing this story because I personally have found so much strength and comfort in hearing others women's stories that are similar to mine. So I thought I would share mine because I hope that I can help anyone that has either gone through this or is currently going through this and help you feel less alone and more understood and more comforted through this really painful and traumatic time. So I'm going to start at the beginning, and then I'm going to kind of share the whole shebang of how it happened. And then I think I'll end this video sharing about what's next and how I kind of plan to keep sharing what's going on in my life. So if you don't know who I am, welcome to my channel. My name is Alyssa. I found
Chase for Business is literally what it says in the name. It is Chase
Get to
for
the
Business.
story.
Do you mind?
I like this. I like this commercial. I never seen it, but this is people that's not black having babies.
Danny.
More parents.
Oh, they threw a black person in there. Yeah.
So I'm going to film another video next week that will go live next week that's going to talk about how I tracked my cycle, because I think I want to share that separately. But let's talk about the pregnancy that I just lost. So I found out I was pregnant at 3.5 weeks. I was tracking really diligently, and I was testing pregnancy starting at 8 days past ovulation, actually maybe even 6 past ovulation. I got a second really faint line, 11 days, and then on 12. So I knew at that point I was pregnant. That was about 7 weeks ago, maybe 6.5 weeks ago now. So I found out at 3.5 weeks, really, really early.
This bitch.
I have lost this pregnancy. I was going to want that support on the other side because I knew I was going to need it. And I'm really, in retrospect, really glad that I did share early because I have gotten all of that support now that I have lost this pregnancy. So found out 2 days before we moved out of New York City. It was a crazy kind of whirlwind of a few weeks. I wasn't really experiencing any symptoms. So I got into week 6. So it was about 2.5 weeks after I had found out. And I was starting to feel some symptoms. I was having a little bit of breast tenderness. I was starting to feel a little bit queasy. Definitely wasn't experiencing like any nausea per se, but there was like some queasiness. There was a little bit of food aversion starting. But overall, I was feeling pretty good. I was a little bit tired, but so week 6 kind of cruises along and change in my discharge. So you have a lot of discharge in pregnancy just in general because tinge to my discharge. So I'm grateful and lucky enough that my OB for this pregnancy is a very close family friend. So I also was able to she was like on speed dial for me. I just texted her and I told her what was happening. She said, I think it's probably totally normal. I wasn't supposed to have a first appointment until 9 weeks. So I just
I'm gonna move on from
lucky
this
enough
bitch.
to know her and get in for an early ultrasound. Nothing was concerning. I have no high risk.
I'll move on from this bitch. I'm gonna give y'all this an Ebony K. Williams type black bitch.
Your lower back. You'll also have pain during sex, and then also headaches and dizziness because of all of the blood that you're losing. It makes you very dizzy all the time. And I had leaked through, like literally soaked my pants. A period can last an average woman anywhere from 3 to 5 days, maybe sometimes 6 days. With uterine fibroids, sometimes your menstrual period will be about 10, 12, 15 days. Now, I know for myself, I dealt with periods that lasted about 10 to 12 days. And when it got to maybe like that 3rd day, from the 3rd day to the 10th or 12th day, it was a heavy flow the entire time. Like there were times where I had to wear a tampon and a pad to cover myself. As embarrassing as it is, there have been times where I was at work and I had leaked through, like literally soaked my pants. I would have to change my tampon maybe 6, 7, 8 times a day because I was bleeding so much. So that's one of the symptoms that you deal with uterine fibroids, the prolonged periods, and then just the heavy bleeding. So ladies, don't think that having a period that lasts you about 10 to 12 days is normal. Even if you're not bleeding that heavy, I don't think your period should be that long
long, I would definitely maybe go get an ultrasound just to see and make sure everything's the way it's supposed to be. So some of the other symptoms you'll get are pain in your lower abdomen and your lower back. You'll also have pain during sex, and then also headaches and
Every time I try to tell y'all these bitches will fuck you in discomfort, you don't believe me. But I know you believe me now. That's all they talk about. Pain during sex, pain during sex. These bitches ain't shit.
lower abdomen and your lower back. You'll also have pain during sex, and then also headaches and dizziness because of all of the blood that you're losing. It makes you very dizzy all the time. Where do uterine fibroids come from? No one really knows. I mean, for me, it was a history in my family because some of the women in my family struggled with uterine fibroids. Actually, my mother struggled with uterine fibroids when she was about maybe 35, 36, 37, and she actually had to have a hysterectomy because of it. So for me personally, my uterine fibroids more than likely came from the history that I have.
No. You get it from your mama. You get it from your mama, baby. You get it from your mama. And this is what happened with the feminism and the independence and the freedom. Freedom for what, Prince? Freedom to eat what you want to eat, do what you want to do. Now, what is the bad part, Prince? The bad part is she knew she got it from her mama, but guess what these bitches tried to do? The same thing that her mama tried to do. Be better than her mama, don't listen to her mama, nothing. So what did she do? Go all the way up to her 30s with bad pussy.
Maybe 35, 36, 37, and she actually had to have a hysterectomy because of it. So for me personally, my uterine fibroids more than likely came from the history that I have in my family. My mother directly actually suffered from uterine fibroids when she was about 35, 36, 37. She actually had to have a hysterectomy to stop the suffering.
What I always tell y'all niggas, yeah, these bitches are snitches and rats. Never tell these bitches anything, man. They're rats, son. They're fucking snitches. You see how she just did her mama? This bitch is a rat. These bitches are rats, man.
Personally, my uterine fibroids more than likely came from the history that I have in my family. My mother directly actually suffered from uterine fibroids when she was about 35, 36, 37. She actually had to have a hysterectomy to stop the suffering of uterine fibroids. I mean, luckily she had already had a kid. She had me, and she didn't plan on having any more children.
She already had a kid. That's what they reduced you niggas to. A kid, nigga. Even the Prince got a two-piece, nigga. We don't do no ones out here. Well, that was my generation. Y'all do what y'all want, man. But you know how it is. Niggas got two pieces and up. You know, y'all know how it is, man. Pussy was better back then, son. You heard me? Pussy was better back then. All right? Women only want to know about other people for blackmail, not for understanding. King Disagreeable is in the building. Let's get it.
They just don't know. We keep treating these men like they are boys.
So she made the decision to remove her uterus and to have a hysterectomy so that she just wouldn't have to suffer with any of the symptoms or the pain or anything like that anymore. So the reason why I got uterine fibroids is more than likely because of the history of my family, specifically my mother, who is direct line for me, the next closest to me. So that's where my uterine fibroids came from. So the one scary thing about uterine.
See that? Now we know a little bit better than that. We know that you wanted to outdo your mama. And guess what you did? You took all your mama's advice. You said, white people, you said, I don't like no white girl cooking. They don't use no seasoning. They don't do this. They don't do that. So you could have been better than your mama if you only didn't try to listen to your mama. See that, you dumb bitch? You thinking you got it from your mama. No, bitch. You ate that shit to that. You all that bad food that you got from your mama and that you love.
More than likely because of the history of my family, specifically my mother, who is direct line for me, the next closest to me. So that's where my uterine fibroids came from. So the one scary thing about uterine fibroids is that most of the time you don't even know you're.
Yo, King Disagreeable. Yo, that nigga sponsored the show. He said, yo, cook. He said, I don't want to hear shit, Prince. Cook.
Suffering from it until it's too late. So I started feeling symptoms in 2013, probably in about May or June is when at least I noticed that I was having very long periods that were lasting 10, 12 days, and the bleeding was very heavy. I wasn't able to stay outside very long in the sun. And of course, I live in Florida where in June and July.
Hey, yo, hold on. So, Key, I believe we did that Tanya TKO Jesse Lee Peterson, but we could always revisit because that's kind of what really got us on this whole bad box movement. Yes, I used to cover it way back, but that was lightly. But once Tanya TKO, she went through her whole blood transfusion and stuff like that. And the way that she was framing the story was of some sort of sick shit. And I was like, hold on, I know so much more better than that. So that right there really triggered us on really just, you know, going down this bad pussy path. Because Tanya TKO, she had a bad surgery. She had the surgery and stuff. Shit was wild. She had the surgery, right? And she called her father to come to America because you got to have somebody to take you from surgery. So her father came to America to, you know, take her from her pussy surgery. She wanted to go back to the islands with him so she could have somebody to take care of her while she was recovering from her bad pussy, right? So she was supposed to relax and lay down, right? But she was at her father's house, and it was a bathroom that the toilet seat didn't look good because they're in a third world country. And she got mad at her father because he was like, yo, just replace it. right. He said, yo, what you want me to do? Put some tissue on the shit. Do what you got to do. And she got mad at him, right? And was online talking about him, saying, yo, that nigga ain't shit. My daddy ain't shit. His bathroom got a better toilet seat than the one that I got. And you would think that I'm a 40, 50-year-old bitch with a bad pussy. He would take better care of me, right? Guess what happened, homie? Her father was right in there listening to her. He was eavesdropping, right? He was eavesdropping on the bitch, right? While she was talking bad about him on the internet, right? So after that, she was like, you know, the beef was on. She was busted. So she just started moving around. Guess what she did? She's supposed to be resting. She went outside after fibroid surgery or whatever happened in her pussy. She went outside when she was supposed to be resting because she wanted to go buy a new toilet seat. And she got outside and she went out there and she went somewhere or came back home and passed out. Some shit happened where she had to go to the hospital, and she had to get a blood transfusion in a third world country. She had to get a blood transfusion in a third world country.
It's very hot outside. I remember I took a trip to New York, and it was 2013, and it was probably the hottest heat wave that they've ever had. And I went there with a lot of my girlfriends, and I was suffering. Like, we would be walking to the subway and I would be so out of breath, and it was hot and I was dizzy, and it was just not a good experience for me while I was in New York. I had a lot of fun. I pushed through it because I'm a G, but I mean.
What is a G? What does G stand for, Prince? Gladiator.
Good experience for me while I was in New York. I had a lot of fun. I pushed through it because I'm a G, but I mean, I was literally dying the entire time, like literally dying, and I didn't even know it. So luckily my friends were there to kind of support me and, you know, give me a hug and things like that. So I appreciate that. But being in the heat and walking for long periods of time was definitely a struggle for me. I would say it wasn't until August is probably when I really started to feel that I just wasn't breathing correctly. I remember living on the second floor of my apartment building, and I would walk out, going to work, close my door, and I would walk down one flight of stairs to my car, and I would have to stop and literally catch my breath because I could not breathe. So I think that's when I started to notice that something wasn't right. And shame on me, I did not go to the doctor right away. I thought it was just maybe I just wasn't feeling well that day, or, you know, you just never think that something's really wrong.
There you go, guys. We say mismanagement of pussy. Irresponsible with pussy. But she don't care because she know you don't know.
To notice that something wasn't right. And shame on me, I did not go to the doctor right away. I thought it was just maybe I just wasn't feeling well that day, or, you know, you just never think that something's really wrong.
You don't think that something's really wrong with your pussy, because that's what you carry around as your alleged prized possession that you're sitting there mistreating. So you sit there and you say, well, hey, not mine.
Maybe I just wasn't feeling well that day, or, you know, you just never think that something's really wrong until it's really wrong. So it got to the point where I was even so pale, like people would notice how pale I was, and how, you know, even while I was at work, I would walk from one part of the office to the other part of the office, and I would literally be out of breath. Like I thought I was going to pass out. So fast forward to September, maybe about 3 weeks later, is when it was actually my coworkers and my boss that was like, Delisa, you do not look well. You are whiter than me, because my boss was white. And she was like, you look just as white as me right now. You need to go to the doctor. I ended up calling a friend of mine who.
So all these bitches know how to do is get their ass up and go to work. That's all they know how to do. The people at work said, man, we see you every day. You don't look well.
It was actually my coworkers and my boss that was like, Delisa, you do not look well. You are whiter than me, because my boss was white. And she was like, you look just as white as me right now. You need to go to the doctor. I ended up calling a friend of mine who came to work. She was very nice, came to work and took me to the emergency room. I went to Celebration Hospital. At the time, it was called Celebration Hospital. It was a part of Florida Hospital out in Celebration, Florida, that was near my job. So on my way to the doctor, of course, I'm calling my mother, like scared to death, saying, Mom, I'm going to the emergency room. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. And she's like, well, when you go into the emergency room, make sure you tell them that you can't breathe. And not that I was lying, I literally cannot breathe. But, you know, if you go into the emergency room and you tell them that you're having like breathing problems or heart problems, they usually take you right away, which was what was really happening to me. I could not breathe. So I told them that. They started doing tests on me right away, blood pressure, blood work. I remember having like maybe 2 doctors and like 2 nurses around me because they could not figure out what was going on. So after the blood work, I found out that my hemoglobin was a 3.6. Now let's talk about hemoglobin for a minute. So hemoglobin is an iron protein in your blood that transfers oxygen to the other parts of your body.
This is what happened to Tanya TKO, guys. This is what happened to Tanya TKO in a third world country. Let's go.
Protein in your blood that transfers oxygen to the other parts of your body. So it transfers oxygen to different tissues, your heart, your lungs, basically all of the functions in your body that need oxygen. Your hemoglobin in your blood helps with that. So when they told me that my hemoglobin was a 3.6, I'm like, okay, is that bad? Like, I don't understand. I will never forget for the rest of my life, the doctor told me, you are a walking dead person. I've never seen anyone physically walk into a hospital that has a 3.6 hemoglobin. Like, I don't.
There you go, guys. There you go, guys. We talk about irresponsible with the pussy. And it kills me because they start talking about hemoglobin and low iron, and they all want to be vegans and they need fucking meat. I know, guys. Look. We let you know that this black woman that you run around trying to fucking respect don't respect their own fucking body. That's what we let you know, okay? But guess what that bitch do? Take her ass to work looking fucking dead. Why? Don't want to have a man caring about her sickly ass because she's going to have to appreciate it.
For the rest of my life, the doctor told me, you are a walking dead person. I've never seen anyone physically walk into a hospital that has a 3.6 hemoglobin. Like, I don't even know how you got here alive. So to put that in perspective for you, The average hemoglobin for an average woman of my
What's the average hemoglobin for a woman, guys? Come on now. That nigga sponsored the show. Answer the damn question, guys. He sponsored. He don't have to answer. What's the normal hemoglobin numbers for a woman? Because hers was at 3. What's the normal numbers for a regular human being? You know? What's the normal numbers for a regular human being? See, all of this is about showing you who's irresponsible. Because she knows how to get up and go to work. Yes, that's responsible. Yes. But the thing that men care about, she's not responsible with that. All right?
My age, even at the time, is between a 12 and a 15.
12 to 15. I would have took 11. You know, anything that was double digits, I would have gave you the answer.
Did you hear me? Between 12 and 15. My hemoglobin was a 3.6. So that basically meant that I had no blood pumping where I needed it, or no iron in my blood pumping where I needed it at all. It wasn't pumping to my heart. It wasn't pumping to my lungs. So this is why I was feeling the way that I did, because I basically had no blood. So then the next question is, well, why doesn't she have any blood? Like, why is her hemoglobin so low? I did explain to them the symptoms that I was having. I was having periods of 10, 12 days at a time, heavy bleeding, feeling dizzy, headaches, things like that. So immediately they called in a gynecologist. He was a specialist. He only dealt with specific cases, including uterine fibroids. Dr. Kim, nicest guy ever. And I remember him coming in and saying that they were going to do an ultrasound. So they did an ultrasound. They did a vaginal ultrasound, which basically means instead of them rolling, doing the sonogram on top of your stomach like they would if you're pregnant, they literally insert it through your vagina and they take the ultrasound that way. And that's how they found the fibroid. They actually found a couple of fibroids, but the biggest one that they found was the size of a golf ball, like I mentioned before. Basically, their point of action first was a blood transfusion. So I got about 5 pints of blood.
Now, what you gonna say? Yo, but she getting a bag though. That's what you gonna say, Ken? Yo, but she getting that bag. Bitch got somebody else's blood in her, man. Yo, that's the new technology, Prince. Well, there you have it.
Was the size of a golf ball, like I mentioned before. Basically, their point of action first was a blood transfusion. So I got about 5 pints of blood with my blood transfusion. That was the first thing that they did. So whenever you get a blood transfusion, you automatically go in ICU. So they put me in ICU for 2 days. And
she was in ICU because of her pussy, King.
With my blood transfusion, that was the first thing that they did. So whenever you get a blood transfusion, you automatically go in ICU. So they put me in ICU for 2 days, and I was there just getting the blood that I needed. They were still pulling blood and doing blood work so that they can check on my hemoglobin to make sure it was getting back to where it needed to be. But that was the first process that they did. So the second thing they needed to do was figure out how they could ease the symptoms or cure me from these uterine fibroids that were causing me to lose so much blood during my periods.
That's what you call reconstruction. Reconstruction. You hear me? That bitch getting new blood, new pussy, just reconstruction, son. Let's go.
Ease the symptoms or cure me from these uterine fibroids that were causing me to lose so much blood during my periods. At the time, I was 27 years old. And although anyone who knows me knows I'm
27 years old. My God. Son. Dang. That's fucked up.
I'm not big on having children at all.
Uh-oh. Let's talk about it then, sis. Let's talk. This is your black sister. Piece of shit ass person. Let's go.
ease the symptoms or cure me from these uterine fibroids that were causing me to lose so much blood during my periods. At the time, I was 27 years old. And although anyone who knows me knows I'm not big on having children.
Anyone that knows me, I'm 27 years old. I done fucked up my 20s. But I ain't big on having children anyway. My contribution to the Black community can kiss my ass. All I care about is me, 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 me. When I die, I don't care if the rest of the community dies with me.
During my periods. At the time, I was 27 years old. And although anyone who knows me knows I'm not big on having children at all, I didn't want to do a hysterectomy just in case I changed my mind. At the time I was 27,
Here we go. What I teach you guys. She know her pussy ain't shit. She know what's going to make her right. But what she wants to do, she wants to have the ability or the threat towards a man. I could give you a baby. I just don't choose to. Bitch, your pussy can't do shit. So guess what she's going to do? Well, it sounds like it. I'm going to still keep that option open. Yeah, these people are sick.
During my periods. At the time, I was 27 years old. And although anyone who knows me knows I'm not big on having children at all, I didn't want to do a hysterectomy just in case I changed my mind. At the time I was 27, I was single. What if I meet the man of my dreams and get married and I want to have kids? So
all I'm trying to teach you niggas. It's all I'm trying to teach you. Bad pussy, man of the dreams, married with kids because he can provide. Don't give a fuck what kind of baby I give him because I knew my pussy was bad since the day I was born. That's all I've been trying to tell you. And guess what? I won't do shit. I'll continue to mask my bad pussy. I'll go to work looking dead and everything because I ain't got the man of my dreams. Once I get the man of my dreams, I'm going to take everything more serious.
So I didn't want to do the hysterectomy, which luckily wasn't my only option. I'm from these uterine fibroids that were causing me to lose so much blood during my periods. At the time, I was 27 years old. And although anyone who knows me knows I'm not big on having children at all, I didn't want to do a hysterectomy just in case I changed my mind. At the time I was 27, I was single. What if I meet the man of my dreams and get married and I want to have kids? So I didn't want to do the hysterectomy, which luckily wasn't my only option considering how big the fibroid was. The second option and the option that I actually went with was a myomectomy. A myomectomy is a surgery.
All right. So she went with the myomectomy instead of the hysterectomy so she can just be a fuck toy. She's supposed to get that hysterectomy, get with some man and say, look, I'm the best fuck toy you're going to get. I ain't got no insides. But what do women do? Live in Delulu land. She know her pussy is reconstructed and she wants to hold that threat. No, I could have some babies. I just choose not to. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Surgery that is done fibroid off of your uterus. They're too much longer, so they stopped at 3 hours and they weren't even able to get the whole thing. Like that's how big it was. They weren't even able to get the whole fibroid in one surgery. So they took me out of surgery, put me back in ICU. Now, side note, my whole life, I had never been allergic to anything, not that I'm aware of. When I was in the hospital, once they took me out of surgery for my hysteroscopy, to help with the pain, they gave me Dilaudid. I don't know if you've ever heard of Dilaudid, but it's a painkiller or pain medicine that they put in an IV that they give you to help with the pain after surgery. Then I found out I was allergic to Dilaudid when it was too late. So if you've ever taken a pre-workout and how it makes you all tingly and almost a little itchy, imagine that times 1,000. So that's how Dilaudid made me feel. I don't even think I actually got rashes. It was just the sensation and the feeling of the tingling in my body, like was on 10. Like I was moaning, I was crying about it because I never want to have that feeling again. But anyway, so they didn't get the whole fibroid in the first surgery. So we had to schedule a second surgery with Dr. Kim. And again, it's non-invasive. So it was an outpatient surgery that I did. My wonderful mother came down and came with me to the hospital to do the outpatient surgery. And it only lasted an hour or two and they were able to get the rest of the fibroid. After the first surgery, I was out of work for about 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks. I think it was maybe about 12 days, just because I had to recover from the blood transfusions and recover from the myomectomy. So I was out of work for about 12 days. After the second surgery, I think I was only out of work for maybe about 5 days. That was the recovery time for the myomectomy, which wasn't as bad as the first time. But luckily they were able to get the uterine fibroids. I loved my doctor, Dr. Ken, so much that I actually made him my just normal gynecologist that I was going to for even a few years after that. He's not there anymore, and it's very upsetting, but he was my favorite doctor ever. But the conversation that we had to have after the surgeries is, okay, how do we make sure that these fibroids don't come back and I have to do this process all over again? Because God forbid I have to do this all over again. So at the time, I was not on birth control. I hadn't been on birth control for maybe about 7 years.
It always makes sense, guys. I did not watch this video. We do this all the time. It all makes sense, right? She was on birth control for 7 years. It all makes sense in the Pussycat Facts report. She said she was somebody who never wanted to have children. So what did she do? Got on birth control and fuck raw. Just another whore.
These fibroids don't come back and I have to do this process all over again, because God forbid I have to do this all over again. So at the time, I was not on birth control. I hadn't been on birth control for maybe about 7 years. So he suggested that I get on birth control, and I can get, like the birth control I'm on now is low Western. So it's like a very low dose birth control. But what he suggested is that I don't get a period. And the way to do that, if you're just on the regular pill, is that you don't stop taking your birth control after your pills are done. So if your pills are blue, like the package that I have is blue, once you take all of those pills, you start a new pack. And that way you just keep taking them. You don't take a break. You don't get a period. So that way you're not losing any blood, or you losing as much blood as you normally would. And I asked him, because a normal person hearing this, they're like, that can't be safe for you to not get a period and to keep just taking your birth control. But my doctor said it's totally safe, especially if you're not wanting to have kids. It is totally safe to do that. There's really no reason.
What I tell y'all, she could have had the whole hysterectomy. See that? She could have had the whole hysterectomy because she don't want kids. But she didn't get the hysterectomy because she said, I might change my mind. So what she'll do in the meantime is continue to contaminate and fuck up her body, so that when she finally meets somebody, you say, oh yeah, I can have kids with that faint opportunity. That shit is fucked up, man. So why are you on birth control? You ain't, what are you doing? What's the reason why you on birth control? Well, it's to stop my period. You fucking raw? Yeah, let's go.
For a woman to have a period unless they want to get pregnant and ovulate and things like that. So he recommended that I just continue to take my birth control so I don't have a period. I have not had a real period in probably about 4 years now, which I have no complaints. I recommend it for anyone who is not looking to have a child anytime soon, but that's just me. But it has worked.
That's your black sister. She was 27. So clearly she's in her 30s now, running around on birth control because it helps her health and she can fuck men. What they say? What's that word? Autonomy over the body. Some shit like that. She can fuck men with autonomy. It's fucked up. So the question begs, ma'am, why should you ever give a damn where a man is? Why should you care about how a man is? Why should you give a fuck about what a man has? Why should you give a fuck about anything? You are just a pussy, literally. You offer nothing.
I mean, since I have been taking the birth control straight through, my hemoglobin has been high. Now I'm still slightly anemic. My hemoglobin stays usually between like a 10 and an 11. Like I said, the average is between 12 and 15. So my hemoglobin is still just low because just because I have like low iron and I'm just anemic, but I'm not as severely anemic as I was when I had the uterine fibroids. So basically what I do now to check for uterine fibroids, I typically go get an ultrasound once a year for them to check if there are any other masses on my uterus. And the reason why we do that is because when I found out I had the uterine fibroids, we don't know if it grew that way within a week.
Anyway, you niggas get it. You niggas get that. Now, I want to show y'all this quick little story. Now, this story is a weird one. So this woman, she had she had fibroids, right? And so what happened here is she had a man, a husband or whatever. So she got the fibroids and she got a husband. So she's gonna go do the surgery. And what happens is only one person can come back there after she gets out of surgery or whatever. And she's like having this big crying thing. Well, she's not gonna cry here, but she said she was like, who do I have to come in, my mother or my husband? So the question is, class, if you was married to a woman and she had to go get fibroid surgery, which is a direct effect on you because you can't fuck her and you the one that got to deal with this shit, and you go to the hospital for the surgery, and the bitch, who do you think that she's going to say who she wants in the back? You or her mother? I just try to show you that bitches ain't shit. That's all I hear. That's all I'm here to show you. And the only way that I can show you this is through the pussy. This shit ain't really about fibroids and all this other education. It's just that we got to know all that so bitch can most certainly not tell us that she ain't shit. You can't tell us that. Even on your deathbed, you will abandon your fucking husband, bitch. That nigga, man, that ain't right.
Place. Of course, my husband and my mom could not come back while I was waiting. So I was just kind of having to tough it out all by myself. So they took me to the operating room. And when I got back to the operating room, it was kind of weird too, because this was my first surgery. So just seeing how the operating room was like a little weird. So I was really, really nervous. And then when you get back to the operating room, it's like so much going on. There's so many people in there trying to help with the operation and just trying to help get you situated for the doctor and everything else. So when I got back there, they transferred me to the operating table. Operating table had like a dip. It's like a dip in the bed that you have to scoot your butt all the way down to. So it was a nurse in there telling me like, scoot down, scoot down, scoot down, scoot down. And I'm like, how far you want me to scoot? So I finally got in the right position. And then the doctor with the anesthesia, he was like, I'm going to give you something to calm your nerves. And I'm also going to give you some oxygen. I said, okay. So when he said, I'm going to give you something to calm your nerves, and then that was it. The thing I remember is waking up in the recovery room. My nurse was waking me up, trying to, see if I was okay. And I just remember like going in and out. And then I remember her waking me up and telling me that I would have to choose who I wanted to come back, either my mom or my husband.
I would have to choose who has to come back for my pussy surgery. My mom, who should be home, not being worried, or my husband, who this pussy directly affects. Now, should that be a choice? Should that be a choice?
Out, in and out. And then I remember her waking me up and telling me that I would have to choose who I wanted to come back, either my mom or my husband, and only one person can come back. And I was just like so distraught because I'm like, I don't know who to choose, but I really want to see my husband and I really want to see my mom. So I just kept falling back asleep. Like, honestly, I was just like, girl, you're going to have to choose for me because I am out of it. Mind you,
she said to the nurse, you're going to have to choose for me because I'm out of it. It's fucked up. That's how they do you niggas, man. Now, when a bitch say her stomach hurt, my antennas go up. And you can go further. You can say, hey, what's up? What happened? You ate something or something? You like question that bitch if you choose to. Have a conversation. You all right, boo? You ate something wrong? And you'll find it ironic that a lot of bitches will just say, no, I don't know. You like, oh, okay. And you just keep your mouth shut. you just sit your ass down and wait for this pussy. It is what it is.
In between the times that she was talking to me, I really thought it was like 20 minutes in between, but honestly, it was probably like 5 minutes that she kept waking me up and asking me like, who do you want to come back? And I'm like, I don't know. And
Who do you want to come back? Your mom or your husband? And the dumb bitch talking about, I don't know. Who does this surgery directly affect now that you're alive?
like, who do you want to come back? And I'm like, I don't know. And I remember telling her, like, I want to see my husband. So I would just fall back asleep. Every time she asked, I would just fall back asleep.
Now you just saw the bitch lie.
Then she finally woke me up and was like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let your husband sneak back here.
There you go. So the bitch just lied to us in our face. All right? Because clearly she said she wanted to see her mother. And the nurse said, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let your husband sneak back here. So she lied. She did not say her husband. Right. You know what it is. She says she don't know because she really want her man to come back, but she don't want her husband to be mad. I mean, want her mom to come back, but she don't want her husband to be mad. You see? But she still end up saying her mom because the husband had to be on the sneak tip. It's fucked up.
My husband. So I would just fall back asleep. Every time she asked, I would just fall back asleep.
The bitch is a liar.
Who do you want to come back? And I'm like, I don't know. And I remember telling her, like, I want to see my husband. So I would just fall back asleep. Every time she asked, I would just fall back asleep. Then she.
Great point, King Disagreeable. Even though I disagree, but it's a great point. Because look at what happened. What happened was, say you was the husband and you didn't go at all. You would be accused of not giving a fuck. Even though the shit affects you, and you could be like, yo, that shit affect me. I don't even want to see the pussy like that. I want to fuck the pussy. You know what I'm saying? But they would accuse you of not caring. But you're there and the bitch chose her mom. Unbelievable.
Come back. And I'm like, I don't know. And I remember telling her, like, I want to see my husband. So I would just fall back asleep. Every time she asked, I would just fall back asleep. Then she finally woke me up and was like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let your husband sneak back here. And I'm like, okay. In my head, it was like 20 minutes later, but it was probably only like 5 minutes later. My husband came back and he woke me up and I just lost it, y'all. It was just so, it was the best moment because I knew that the nurse wasn't supposed to let him back there, but
you knew the nurse wasn't supposed to let him back here. Why? Because you said you wanted your mom's over your husband. You're a lying bitch. Yo, B, I get upset at these bitches, man, because it don't make sense. Why do you have to lie? Shit don't make no sense.
And he woke me up and I just lost it, y'all. It was just so, it was the best moment because I knew that the nurse wasn't supposed to let him back there, but she snuck him back there for me anyway. And I remember my husband coming up and saying, hey, babe. And I was like, hey, baby. And we just talked for a little while. So that was nice. Thing I remember after speaking to my husband was going up to my room that I was going to be staying in. And I remember getting to the room and having to be transferred to that hospital bed. And that was tough because they put like a metal kind of plate down to transfer you over to the other bed. And not to make anybody nervous that's getting the procedure. I'm just, sharing my experience. Where my incision was had bled out, I guess because my doctor didn't.
All right. What time is it? All right, guys. I think we might be at that portion of the show sponsored by that nigga, man. I hope we don't have any viewers right now, that nigga, because this is about to go dark, my nigga. I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm gonna do it. I don't even give a damn no more, man. Hopefully it's just me and you, man. Because this is crazy work, son. Fuck it. We got to get this out the way. It's not cute. Just remember. Just want to get this out the way. So, because even the prince, man, even I get tired of being laughed at by you niggas. All you want to do is laugh at me, And I get upset sometimes and I say, okay, I'm going to go dark. And then when I went, the first time I went dark was with the ovarian cancer. We stay away from that, man. That shit dark as hell. You hear me? But this is even darker. So, let me get a tea before I do this shit. Fuck this shit. This shit crazy. I don't even feel good about doing this because I can go dark. I just choose not to. Let me play this bitch real quick.
Fast forward to 2 days, I was meant to go do some blood work and I started bleeding again. That day, the doctor confirmed that I actually had lost the baby, that my miscarriage was in process, and that I needed to be prepared, and that if I bled too much, I needed to go back to the hospital. They wanted to find out what blood group I was so that if I need blood, they can give me blood. That was the start of like the ultimate devastation. Things started to hit me that this is real. Am I going to be able to be a mom? Is it going to be easy? Because my IVF results only gave me one egg. And that egg that I got was such poor quality that it didn't make it. So I had so many questions in my head. And that was the first time that I started to ask myself, am I ever going to get to be a mom? Weeks passed and...
Yo, the Supreme Court ruling on birthright citizenship. Supreme Court supposed to be doing something on birthright citizenship. Trump ain't playing with these motherfuckers, man. Sheesh.
For the first time in my life, I started to feel like I wasn't myself anymore. I was a bit numb. I just stopped feeling things. I don't like the person that I'm becoming. It was as if it was just like a block and I could not come out of that feeling. I also made a decision that I did not want to undergo IVF anymore. I hated it. So I decided that we were just gonna try naturally. I'm a big believer in like natural medicine. And so we started being like super healthy. And I was like, I don't believe in no's. Don't believe in no.
Pay attention. If you was here from the beginning, then you understand they went IVF. It cost $22,000 and it failed. This bitch is starting to cost.
Undergo IVF anymore. I hated it. So I decided that we were just gonna try naturally. I'm a big believer in like natural medicine. And so we started being like super healthy. And I was like, I don't believe in no's. Don't believe in no. This is gonna happen. It's gonna happen at the right time. And I don't wanna obsess over it. I don't wanna become depressed. For the next year, I decided to just live in the moment. Focus a lot on work because work made me feel good. It makes me happy. So I decided to start focusing on it. And so for the next year and a half, we kept trying naturally. Nothing.
Hey, yo, they said Trump could do something with birthright citizenship. Yo, they said, son, they said Trump could do something with birthright citizenship. And they said Supreme Court limits power of lower courts to stop Trump from doing all his stuff. Oh, shit.
Supreme Court. And when we're talking a lot about these executive actions, these will likely be able to be enforced in large parts of the country for quite some time. And when you're talking about something like federal layoffs or things they want to do with the budget or even birthright citizenship, I mean, this is something that could deter a lot of people from continuing their fight.
Oh, shit. Trump ain't playing. Yo, Trump ain't playing. Oh shit. This shit getting real. All right, Morgan Freeman, man. I didn't want you to see what you're about to see, man. That nigga sponsored the show. And he said, yo, Prince, cook, man. He said, look, man, I don't want to hold you back. Cook, King. And I always say, yo, I don't be trying to cook like this. He said, yo, you know what? Do yourself a favor, Prince. Cook.
Hey, TikTok. So this is Micah, and basically I wanted to come on here to share his story.
Not doing that with you niggas.
Okay, so for those that watch,
Be careful, guys. Be careful here, man. This ain't right. You know what? I had thought about it, and I was saying to myself, check this out. I was saying to myself, y'all see this right here on the screen? Let me show you something. I was saying to myself, I would just do this. I would just scroll down so y'all could see some stuff. Because playing this stuff will break your heart, man. And it's everything that I've ever taught you. They will give you anything. They will give you anything, pimp, and it ain't right. So that's why I was saying, man, it's scary. I get a little, even the Prince get a little, you know, when you know what's really going on, it could kill you inside, man. It's like, bro, they will do this to you guys. I told y'all the story about Q and Teresa. I told y'all, man, this shit is common. Why do you think? Hold up. That's my middle name. That might be. See? Yeah. We got my nigga King Disagreeable. Yo, keep me on point. Don't let me get don't let me get feelings out here. Don't let me get feelings out here.
hey, TikTok. So this is Micah, and basically
King Disagreeable. King Disagreeable. Yo, you ain't shit, son. I can't fuck with these niggas, B. Yo, why did I do this? Why did I do this? Why did I Why did I do this? Why did I do this? Why did I get King Disagreeable and Morgan Freeman? Oh, because of that nigga. That's why. Oh, God. Niggas got me in my bag. This ain't cool. Don't laugh.
hey, TikTok. This is Micah, and basically I wanted to come on here to share his story, and hopefully to reach other moms that have kids with any type of injuries or whatever their case is. So this is
what I always teach you when bitches say injuries or whatever the case is. What I teach you about that shit. Just not good people.
So this is with any type of injuries or whatever the case is. So this is Micah Zephaniah. One to push back. He will be 1 on June 6th. So at my 20-week anatomy scan, I found out that he had a mass on his, I guess like in between his eyes and his nose. So they sent me to a high-risk pregnancy center. And that's when they told me it was an encephalosis, which basically is a hole in your head and your brain is coming out. So at 8 days old, they had to remove it and it was all dead tissue. So that's where this scar is
I can't do this. Yeah, this dude King disagree. I can't do this bullshit with this nigga, man. I can't do this shit. But I will tell you this. We know where this comes from. We don't play these games. You fucking bitches fuck this community up, B. Fuck this fucking community up. This shit was a rarity. We love Lil Micah, but this shit was a rarity, B. This shit was a rarity back in the days, man. What I teach you niggas, they'll give you anything. She told you 20 weeks what happened. Shit is fucked up, man. This nigga King disagreeable. I can't fuck with niggas.
Kind of right there. And then they cut from ear to ear. And to close this, they took a skin graft off his thigh and basically closed the hole with it. So he was diagnosed with, having encephalus heel. He was also diagnosed with hydrocephalus. He had a grade 4 brain bleed.
Shit ain't right.
My baby was welcomed into this world via C-section. It wasn't my first choice. It's what ended up having to happen. And also because of what led to the C-section, I was also put under in order to go through with the C-section. And so the first parent that my baby saw was his father. And my husband was super excited. And when I came to, they wheeled me into the NICU where...
Dang. I'm going to play it.
My baby was welcomed into this world via C-section. And so the first parent that my baby saw was his father. And my husband was super excited. And when I came to, they wheeled me into the NICU where baby was. And I don't know if it was my husband or the nurse who had baby at the time, but baby's face was pointing, whoever had him's chest. That's where his face was pointing. And then I said, hi, baby, because I was, they wheeled me in. I was all ready to meet my baby. My baby turned his face to me and opened his eyes, to which my husband gasped and then immediately pronounced, this is the first time he ever opened his eyes. He's not opened his eyes that I saw before. And then later, of course, I immediately burst into tears. Later, as I'm recovering, and me, baby, and daddy, my husband is like, you know why he opened his eyes, right? He knew you. He heard a familiar voice.
I don't know what that one is.
God is not going to let me post this video without getting the whole testimony right. So here is to the 5th time recording this video.
Matter of fact, that's a little too nice.
I had the miracle baby, y'all. I haven't came up with a name yet. She was more than 8 pounds. We call her a miracle on TikTok because I have no fallopian tubes. And I still managed to get pregnant. She is the sweetest little thing. She was determined to live. Everyone keeps asking, did my tubes grow back? No, they did not. I have no tubes till this day.
Yeah. Yeah, horror movie shit, man. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, King. You want to clown and laugh? That's why I said I can't even play some of this stuff. Shit is wild, scary. Now, what they do, they call these people miracle babies because they know And look, they just don't care. This is really to show that they don't care what they birth. They call it miracle babies when you have wild challenges with your reproductive system and you just keep fucking niggas and shit happen. And like whether the baby comes out one way or the other, you're gonna dance about it. What does that mean, Prince? Shit, they'll turn this shit into a hustle. Put that baby on disability, draw the check, call up Dr. Umar, just all type of wild shit. And the shit is weird because shit, they do all this dancing right now and nobody tries to tell them that their baby is slow till they take their baby to school. And then the teachers be like, nah, this baby's slow. Then they call Dr. Umar.
Share with y'all. So this started a few years ago, about 4 years before I knew the Lord. I had just given birth to my firstborn. So even to conceive him, we struggled. My husband and I were living together already, but we weren't married yet. So we were living in fornication and we were young. So
These people are fucking up your community. Trying to tell you something, son. I think these women who put there on the internet are cringe as fuck. You damn right they are. But you will never know the truth. See, I don't want to show this one with the baby. This bitch ain't shit. Can't stand these fucking bitches doing that to my homies, B. Doing that shit to my homies, man. That shit is wild. Wild. Shit ain't right. These people ain't shit, y'all. So let me be the one to tell you. Now, these are all miracle babies. That's what they call it. So it's after you had challenges with your box and you still push through. Don't care about anything else. These people ain't shit, man. You know? Like I say, the shit is dark as hell. Like a horror movie. I don't even want to show this one. Look at that baby. Look at that baby on the left. Shit ain't right. Shit ain't right what they do to these babies, man. Y'all niggas don't get it, B. Y'all don't get it. They are the worst of the worst. Guess we could do the whitey.
I was praying.
It's fucked up. Where's that? Oh, this bitch. No. It ain't right what they doing, King.
So I bought a test. It's called Just.
Put you niggas through pure hell.
I'm hopeless now.
I want to see that the black girl. She was gonna hit this girl.
God is not gonna let me post this video without getting the whole testimony right. So here is to the 5th time recording this video. I'm gonna skip over some details, but I'm gonna include the most important ones so that you can get the message. I don't want to be so wordy that you miss the message. 2020, me and my husband have just got married. We accidentally got pregnant. No, we were not trying. However, we were so happy. You know, we felt like, hey, we did it right. You know, we were married first, whatever. Like, let's do this. Unfortunately, we ended up miscarrying. After we miscarried, we continued to try. We tried.
So a miracle baby is normally after you miscarry or whatever. It's all the same to us. Complications with the box. Yeah, King Disagreeable. I know.
We tried over and over and over the span of 4 years. God said no. He continued to say no. And in this moment, I was confused. I was upset. I was wondering, like, God, why? You know what I'm saying? You blessing everybody around me. You blessing people that's not even trying to live right for you. Why are
No, she didn't just say that. Yo, this bitch is a hater. Yeah. I told y'all, they treat God like a piece of shit. Yeah, they treat God like a piece of shit. They say, yo, son, why you letting people who don't even do right by you have babies and not me? Bitch, because your pussy ain't shit. Fuck you blaming me for.
We tried over and over the span of 4 years. God said no. He continued to say no. And in this moment, I was confused. I was upset. I was wondering, like, God, why? You know what I'm saying? You blessing everybody around me. You blessing people that's not even trying to live right for you. Why are you saying no to me? But God said no. Now I want y'all to hear me because it's gonna be 2 words in this message. So first word is God eventually said yes. March 12th of last year, I got my first positive pregnancy test. In the whole 4 years, first positive, and I was so excited. I'm just like, but I was also scared. Yes, I had fears of, is this gonna work? Is this gonna, God, am I gonna be able to keep this one? Is this another hard lesson that you got to teach me? Are you gonna hurt me again? Are you gonna take my baby? I had all these thoughts. Not to mention, I'm saying all this stuff about miscarriage. I'm saying all this stuff about, placenta. I'm saying all these things that can harm my baby, and it put fear in me. And let me tell y'all, before I even go there, I also want to say, but he said no until he said yes. So, and let me tell y'all before I go any further, what do I feel like made God say yes? It was my surrender. I gave up the idea of being a mother. He said no for so long to me. I said, God, you know what? Maybe you have not called me to be a mom. But what I'm going to do is
There you go, guys. That's how far this pussy will take you, King. She gave up. My pussy ain't shit. I know it. I can deal with it. And then she ups and get pregnant. What does that mean? She's going to have a miracle baby. What does that mean? She don't care what that baby come out like. But when I say it, people laugh at me. Yeah, this nigga King Disagreeable. Hold on. Yeah, this nigga is some of the worst people I've ever seen. This nigga. Yeah, where my little nigga at? Where my little nigga? This little nigga. Hold on. Yeah, these people ain't shit. I don't like these people. Shit is bullshit. It's what the fuck you get fucking these bitches.
Hey, TikTok. So this is
This nigga King this. Yeah, y'all niggas. I gotta leave y'all niggas alone, B. This ain't right. I gotta gotta leave y'all niggas alone. So King Disagreeable said, yo, get my son back up. Y'all niggas ain't shit. Oh man. Oh man.
Share his story.
Man.
And hopefully to reach other moms, special need kids with any type of injuries or whatever the case is. So this is Micah Zephaniah. He keeps wanting to push back. He will be 1 on June 6th.
That nigga big.
So at my 20-week anatomy scan, I found out that encephalocele. He was also diagnosed with hydrocephalus. He had a grade 4 brain tumor.
Yeah, this nigga ain't shit. It ain't me.
He has microcephaly, which is a smaller head size than the average baby. Yeah.
Y'all niggas, man.
Yeah. So
that nigga sponsored this shit.
He takes medication daily. Some 1-2 times a day, 3 times a day, and another, I think, 1 time a day.
But you got to remember that nigga, you sponsored it, but King Disagreeable said that's his baby. That nigga's ruthless.
So yeah, so we see a neurologist.
That baby won. That baby got teeth and everything. Let's go.
Endocrinologist, because he was also diagnosed with diabetes insipidus and adrenal gland insufficiency. His ophthalmologist also said that he was legally blind, so we are looking more into, I guess, his eyes to see what he can see. So I'm going to an institution in Oklahoma City. But yeah, he is bottle fed with my breast milk, and I feed him purees. So right now he is, I have a speech therapist that comes to the house that basically helps me with trying to transition him from solids to, purees to like regular solids. So she has me like putting in textures, for the purees, just to get him, like used to something that's not just smooth. So he's a good eater, as you can see. He's 29 pounds. He went from 6 to 29 in almost a year. I guess you'll be probably 30 when you hit a year. Most likely. So, with him not being able to...
And it's funny. It's funny how, you know how it is, man. Babies are cute, man. Don't matter. Babies are cute. She gonna grow out of this shit fast once he gets bigger. Oh, she ain't gonna think it's all cute then.
He is gaining weight too fast, so I had to cut down on my breast milk as far as feeding him a certain amount.
I gotta say it. I'm sorry. I gotta say it. I gotta say this. Bitch, she got, a baby with challenges, right? So what is she gonna do? I'll make sure I get my baby breast milk. Ma'am. Yeah, I make sure I do the breast milk. I make sure. You're a piece of shit. Let me tell you, sis. You're a fucked up person, man.
With him not being able to move around, he is gaining weight too fast, so I had to cut down on my breast milk.
King Disagreeable. He said, King Disagreeable said he's gonna be a menace at the park. The girl said he's legally blind. She said the baby's blind.
But we go to PT. We don't do OT yet due to him not being old enough yet. They, I guess, wanted to wait till he was a year old to evaluate him again. We see speech. I just started with him with taking him to a chiropractor because he is very tight in his muscles. Yeah. So, this is my little miracle baby because they counted him out. Doctors did, but God didn't.
Miracle baby. Doctors counted him out, but God didn't. And I'm gonna get money for my miracle baby.
Baby, because they counted him out. Doctors did, but God didn't. He's a miracle because he shouldn't be able to do half the things he is doing with having such a traumatic brain. You know, losing half of his brain too. Yeah, he shouldn't be able to smile, talk. Yeah, they didn't expect him to basically be a vegetable. That's not what he is. So, yeah, you can't tell me God's not real because I'm looking at a miracle right here. And you can see it looks like he can't see because my window is open. It looks like he's staring right out the window. Yeah. You see out the window? Let's just see a bird. So yeah, this is Micah Zephaniah.
Dang. Yeah, guys. That's where this story goes. It goes all the way here. What is there, Prince? The next generation. Next generation. Very, very scary. Niggas ain't built for this.
Listen, I done tried to do this video a couple of times, but I don't know what's going on. But anyways, my name is Aurelia. I go by Ree. I am the mother of Fat Mama, Ziggy Man. You hear me? Here's a little story time on why and how I chose IVF to have my kids. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it.
Next generation.
Back in 2000, I say about 2021, when I was dating a female and we decided, we was going to start our own family. Now, she already had kids, guys. I personally, I didn't have kids. I never had kids, but I knew I wanted to have my own family. So me and her been, we've been talking for a while now. Now it's time for me to move on a little bit, and I'm trying to grow my own family. She has kids. I don't. It's time to get that together. So, she decided to move in with me, her and her kids, back in 2022, and we decided to get on this IVF journey. Now, I know a lot of people, y'all don't know what IVF is. IVF is in vitro fertilization. That's simply a procedure that you have to help you basically get pregnant without doing it the traditional way. That's what that is. So it's not a cheap thing and not a cheap procedure. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I always keep it real with everybody. So me and my mom, we sacrificed a lot to do this journey. Like, we sacrificed a lot. Me and my mom was saving, handling business. I did a lot of things in order to make this shit happen before she even moved with me to start this journey, just so we have a little understanding on what's going on. So she moved in 2022, her and her kids. We decided, let's get started on the journey. Okay, so we get the medicine, we had the doctor's appointments, all of that. I had my procedure. I got my eggs retrieved. I done chose the sperm donor, and now it's time for her to have the implantation. We do all that. Everything is moving smooth so far. Well, shit went left real quick. We go to the first ultrasound, no heartbeat. So we decided, after that, we already had issues going on, and then the failed pregnancy just was the icing on the cake. We decided to go separate ways. So, it's not like a surprise. It's not like I didn't see the shit coming. You know what I'm saying? So me being a masculine woman, y'all want to say stud or whatever, you feel me?
This is your new generation, son. Talk that shit. This the new generation of fucking weirdo convention. The bitch said, me being as masculine as I am, So you do copy everything from a man. You just won't let a man fuck you to get pregnant. You'll pay $22,000.
Is it? If you're talking about labels, that will probably be why I've been in that. You know, so I'm my mom's only child, my dad's only child, and
look what you did to those people. Look at what you did to those people.
the child, and I feel like the pressure was on. I felt like the window was closing. We done a lot to get to that point, and then everything was taken away from us. You know what I'm saying? So finally, after talking to my mom, she was like, I feel like you can do this on your own. I was thinking, no, I don't want to do this. I never wanted to carry kids. I'm not about to sit here and be like, all my life I wanted to carry kids. No, I never wanted to carry kids. Never. It was never in the plans. I always knew a woman was going to carry my kids. Always. So now I'm in a position where I have to decide either I'm going to carry the kids or it won't be no kids. So after a while of debating, you know what I'm saying, mentally get myself prepared, I decided, fuck it. I'm going to have my own kid. You know what I'm saying?
No, she was pissed off. The bitch was a stud with tattoos with a pregnant belly.
Fuck it. I'm going to have my own kid. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to do this by myself. I never needed nobody or anything. I just had to realize I can do this on my own. I'm financially in a position. I'm ready. I called the doctor up. Hey, Dr. Griffin, I'm ready to roll. I'm going to use 2 of my frozen embryos, and I'm ready to just see, let's go. So they were like, let's go. So I called them in August of 2022, September, I had my procedure. 5 days later, I took a pregnancy test. I was pregnant. I've never been pregnant in my entire life. So it was a lot of emotions, a lot going on. Due to the failed pregnancy, I didn't tell my mom or anything. I didn't want to give anybody hopes up. So what happened is I waited until the first trimester and I announced the pregnancy on Thanksgiving. That's where a lot of y'all might know me from. I announced the pregnancy to my mom. It went viral on a few platforms. So I never knew where this was going to go. I honestly, to keep it real with y'all, I was kind of nervous about sharing the journey on social media due to everyone being so judgmental, by me being, you know, lesbian, by me being masculine, you know, all of that. I knew they was going to be coming for me. They was going to try to say I didn't do IVF. I must be sneak. You feel me? Stuff like that. So I was hesitant on even doing something so, you know, so personal and sharing it on the internet because y'all know how brutal it can be. But
Ma'am, ain't nothing personal about you. You're a girl that walk around like a boy. Ain't shit personal about you.
I had to do it anyway. Thank God I did because it's changed my life. You know what I'm saying? So, and I've changed. I know I've affected a lot of other people's life due to this. You know. So basically, I'm now pregnant. You know what I'm saying? I decided to embrace the pregnancy as much as I could. I was doing belly bump videos. So, you know, I opened up a lot with this pregnancy. So I ended up I found out I was having twins. You know what I'm saying? At the first ultrasound, I knew it was a high chance I could have twins. I know a lot of people say, did you plan for twins? I kind of did. I used 2 embryos, gave myself a high ass chance.
So this bitch, yo, bro, this bitch gonna have twins and said, fuck it. I'm gonna pop a couple twins out and be a good father. That's the next generation. Don't you see it? I'm going to pop twins out of my lesbian pussy and be a good father. Damn.
I have some exciting news for myself. And for y'all, rocking it. If not, it's cool too. And usually I don't put my business on social media because
Ma'am, you ain't got no business. You a girl that walks around like a weirdo in public. Ain't shit personal about you.
I just don't need that. But thanks to the blood of God, I'm covered in the blood of Jesus. So y'all hit comments won't even matter. The negativity won't even matter. God got me all the way around. Anyways, I got IVF, IUI consultation on in 48 hours.
All right, so I'm starting the process for nesting the baby Jalen. My wife is upstairs. She's doing her hair right now. She put me to work. She said she carrying the baby, so I got to do everything else. So that's why y'all see me more, because right now she already carrying all that up in her. She tired. She don't want to be dealing with nothing. So she's like, you got to do the rest of the work. This is your part of the job. So here's my part of the job. Now, lo and behold, I am not the one for this madness. I am not good at putting things together for whatever reason, which is crazy because I'm good with my eyes, because when I took the ASVAB on assembling objects, I scored high as I don't know what. But I can tell you right here, I was having such a hard time putting this part together. I guess it was supposed to click and, things weren't clicking, and it took me time after time to figure out how to put this thing together. This is the first part, mind you. So I'm over here struggling, as you can see. I'm struggling to put this thing together. And I guess there's a method in order to put.
It's all bad, man.
Wow, she did it. I'm proud of you. I'm a fucking doctor, bro. Oh my God! It's never bled that much. I haven't seen it.
So you have two lesbians doing IVF on each other. This is the type of freedom and liberation that cracked the Black community, guys. This is what happened. Crack the community. Brothers, it's over. This is where the babies are coming from. Now, what's the problem? Who the fuck donated? Who donated the sperm? Was it a Black man? Was it an African? Was it a Japanese man? I don't think they care about that. I think all this shit is fun. Sorry, guys. Look at these two bitches gonna raise some babies.
I just don't want to get overexcited yet. This is really quick. It's
I'm crazy as hell right now. Oh, well, I just hopped on here to let y'all know that I got that message letting me know that my stems is on the way. So I will be taking my stems in approximately 2 weeks, like a week and a half from now. But meanwhile, they got me on birth control for 2 weeks. Here's my birth control. I gotta take that for 2 weeks before I take my stems. But I get my package tomorrow, so yeah, y'all stay tuned with that. Meanwhile, I still gotta take prenatals and birth control. And what else they got me taking? Oh, D3, my D3.
That's what we doing, guys, okay?
Hi, everybody. My name is Liz Thomas. My name is Lasia. Doing reciprocal IVF. So a lot of people have not heard of it or anything like that. We're doing it this way so we can both be a part of the baby. Reciprocal IVF is when the baby will be biologically yours, but they're going to move that baby is me. And it's going to be my baby too. Like, it's a phenomenon. Like, it's science. It's amazing, but it does cost way more than regular IVF or IUI. It is so.
Tried to tell you niggas, this is fun. To fuck up the Black community is fun for these dumb bitches. I'm trying to tell you something. You sent around thinking this shit, oh no, it's cool. No, this is fun.
Baby too. Like it's a phenomenon. Like it's science. It's amazing, but it does cost way more than regular IVF or IUI. It is so expensive. Like we're both going to be a part of this baby, so it is her egg, and they will be transferring that egg to me. So we can both be a part. This will be biologically her baby, but my baby. So that is a biological mother. She will be the birth mother. Yes. And it's a phenomenon, guys.
Now, how does child support work in this? How does child support supposed to work? You see? I don't think child support is in the equation. But if it is, I guess the bigger bitch would have to be the one on child support. How does this work? The point is, without a man, they don't give a fuck about child support. Don't y'all get it? It's only for you, nigga. Don't y'all get it? Wait, what the fuck are they talking about? Don't you get it?
Doing reciprocal IVF. So a lot of people have not heard of it.
This is fun.
This way, so we can both be a part of the baby. Reciprocal IVF is when the baby will be biologically ours, but they're going to move that.
Hold on, guys. Supreme Court backs religious objection to LGBTQ books in school. Supreme Court said religious people, you will not have these rainbow books in the school.
And it's gonna be my baby too. Like it's a phenomenon. Like it's science. It's amazing, but it does cost way more than regular IVF or IUI. It is so expensive. Like we're both going to be a part of this baby, so it is her egg, and they will be transferring that egg to me. So we will be a part. This will be biologically her baby. But
I guess we're going to have to comment on these things one day. I want to ask, who gets put on child support? Or that's only when a man is involved?
So that is a biological mother. She will be the birth mother. Yeah. And it's a phenomenon, guys. And we have 2 YouTubes, the Madhouse of Alyssa Love, and we just started a channel with all 3 of us. It's called Just Girls. I'm gonna put the link inside the caption.
What? She said they poly?
That's where we're doing it at. We're doing it through Heartland Fertility in Omaha, Nebraska. And they've been great so far. So we gotta go to appointments twice a week. Mm-hmm. Each appointment is $500. Mm-hmm. And we get blood drawn and an ultrasound each time. And just to be clear, this ultrasound is not the top of your abdomen or anything. They probe you. It's a probe that goes inside, and they take pictures of your
It's called transvaginal, bitch.
uterus, and call you back with the results. Usually the same day. Yeah, they're really good at it. Like they be on top of it. We started our process in about that we started in September. Yeah. And
They said nationwide injunctions leave future of birthright citizenship ban unclear. Trump get to play with the rules.
but yeah, so y'all, let me tell you something. I don't do well with needles. I know y'all know that now. She doesn't do well with needles either. It was terrible my first time. It was awful. I was mean because I was scared, but I've been doing this for like 2 weeks now. Yeah. And now I'm kind of a lot more used to it, and I don't even know if used to it is the word, but I'm just dealing with it now because I have to do it twice a day, every day, and I've had to do it for like 2 weeks now, so. Gotta stay on schedule, gotta get it done so that we can get the results that we need So we have the option also of picking for having a girl. Okay. We have 3 other kids, and we have another partner as well, and she's also getting pregnant. And I will update y'all on that too. So yes, we are poly. Yes, we have a big family. We're just expanding our family. Yes, we're about to have babies. And yeah, y'all.
And mind you, we're doing this all at the same time, so we're gonna have 2 babies.
Yay! So y'all, I'm extremely excited to see our genes.
You want to see the black community be fucked up?
Baby, like I'm just over it. And it's fine. Y'all see me act up, and I was genuine feelings. But today, I am a new woman. I'm fully prepared. Are you ready? Yep. Don't start. You gotta relax. You wanna get your You're holding like about the. Okay. I'll do it myself. Okay. Actually. Okay. Okay. No. Ooh, it's so hot. Okay. Okay. They need to see. Okay. Taking it like a big girl. Ooh. Okay. Okay. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Okay. No. Ooh. See, it's not me. It's her. It's them. My head. Okay. Okay.
You let me know when you're ready, okay?
I'm ready. No. Okay. What's wrong? Okay. 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 Okay.
So what we've decided is that
Why are you talking there?
we'll probably need our other partner in here to hold her while I give her the injections, because this is going to be an every time thing. She's like this, getting her blood drawn. Mm-hmm.
Sit back. Okay. Okay. I just talked to myself. I don't know why I'm acting like this. No.
One.
You're counting it. Ooh, don't hold me. Don't hold me.
All right, so you can't keep me going.
Okay. I'm not trying. It's not me. It's not.
I know. Okay.
Okay. You're out the way. You have to be close. Ooh. You're lying to me.
No. Okay. I'm just want to no, listen. I'm just about to be close by. I'm not about to do it.
I can't listen right now.
Come here.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Ooh, it's gonna hurt. I know it.
It's so fast. You're not going.
It's not fast.
It is fast.
Okay. I'm back. Let me just. That's too much restraint. I don't know what's wrong. Is it?
You were so close.
I was. My baby. My daughter. I'm like freaking out. I need to chill.
What are you doing?
Fascinate my tummy. All right. Well, guys, unfortunately, I'm hot. Okay. Well, guys.
As I said before, we're going to have our other partner hold her.
There you have it, man. There you have it, man. That's where freedom and independence get you. A poly, lesbian family doing IVFs. I don't know. I don't know, man. I would say all of the bitches are the same, lesbian or not. They have found a way to exclude a man. Science, technology. They got a job, they got a house, they could make a baby without getting pregnant, without getting sex. They can birth that baby, they can raise that baby and put that baby a part of the black community. They got 3 bitches in there. 2 of them going to be pregnant at one time. At that point, what does that teach you? That teaches you that, hey, when they're pregnant around you as a man, they don't need your ass. Everything that they and child support, oh, forget about it. Who the fuck goes on child support in a lesbian poly relationship? Who the fuck? So they don't need you for child support either. It just goes to show you how this shit is set up against you guys. But when you got clown ass niggas, we'll never come together for anything. And we should be able to demand that it be legislation that these bitches got to be put on child support. How the fuck do you just get to do that? If that's the case, eradicate child support. Get it off the table. Because they should not be able to have this free pass. And the only thing that is going to put child support in place is the fact that I use my eggplant. Oh, hell no. Well, that nigga, I do have my I do this this Caitlin Clark. I cover, I cover these bitches. I do little Caitlin Clark stuff in the WNBA stuff. If you want to go over there, let me know. Now that channel, I dropped a couple videos. I got I think I got like 300 or 700 on one of my Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese, one of them bitches. Because they had, I think when the girl, Caitlin Clark teammate pulled the girl's hair, some shit like that. So yeah, I got one, man. I would love, brothers, you know how the sports channels go. I want some contributing keynote speakers and shit like that. We can do things, man, if you want.
All right, so I'm here for my ultrasound appointment. Ultrasound appointment. All right. The other legs, the father.
I thought they was gonna do the shot. So reciprocal IVF is when lesbians are doing pregnancy at the same time. Reciprocal IVF. Y'all niggas gonna learn what's happening out here.
Today is day. I'm so excited, nervous. Wait to meet my babies. My baby.
You niggas gonna learn. This is what's going on. Black women have taken science and technology away from the white people. They are the ones that do this shit all the time. This bitch is in the army doing IVF. Yo, they have taken relationships away from you niggas. They just don't see the other side to it, though. Ma'am, you're fucking up a whole community. They don't get it, man. By the time y'all babies get older, black fatigue, y'all niggas are crazy, man. I want to know where they got the donations from. Because a lot of times, like I say, they can't afford to pick their own race type. Well, I don't know. You know how it is, man. I ain't got no traction nowhere, brother. I just started all that stuff. I ain't got no traction nowhere. I just trying to see what happens other than this channel. That's all I was trying to see. I agree, man, because I still got to get busy on my golf channel. My Gladiator, it's a championship called the Travelers Championship. And it's up in Connecticut. That's like 2 hours away from me. And my Gladiator told me she was going to take me. you know? And she didn't take me because I was going to start my golf channel when I went there. So I was like, okay, I'll fly to a golf tournament and bitch, you don't get to go. That's all. That's all. This is it right here, guys. The lesbians with the babies that's born.
IVF. So we just want to give y'all a little rundown about us and our kids.
This is the generation, baby.
And we did IUI, so that's at-home insemination. We ordered sperm on the sperm bank website, and then
We ordered the donation from the donor's website. They can't afford, because a lot of black men don't donate. So they can't afford to pick the race. They just got any damn thing. She said we did the at-home insemination. I learned golf too, to do a golf show with you, take trips, golf, and judge box workers. Bro, you know all the boxes around golf. For real. And a lot of tournaments down there in Florida, Pimpin'. I mean, Florida is where we all, Florida is like a great state, man. Many golf courses, man. You get, always good to go to Florida.
and then we did IVF for me with her.
Mrs. Sleepy right here, she's tired, so she moving around. She's our second born. IVF induced fertilization, where they took her eggs and they fertilized them.
Yo, I didn't golf in DR because where I went, they said the course was a little far from where I was at, and it wasn't, I looked it up. It was a bullshit course. Wasn't even nice like that. You got to go to like Punta Cana to get the nice PGA resort shit.
Out of all her eggs, she had 14 of them that made it to embryo. So she was our first transfer.
And so after her, it made 13 embryos left. And then we just had her 9 days ago. So now we have 12 embryos left in storage. His donor is from Nicaragua, and so he's half Nicaraguan.
What I tell y'all, all y'all do is laugh at me. All y'all fucking do is laugh at me. I told y'all they cannot pick the race. I told y'all that. Told y'all. You know what? I do want to go to Punta Cana. It's mad bitches out there. Mad bitches out there. Mad bitches out there. Punta Cana, man, is nice. Very nice. Expensive, good streets, good everything. Just everything's, it's where the Americans go. It's where the golfers go, They got to make sure it's nice. Yo, the baby is Nicaraguan. But they going to say black.
It made 13 embryos left. And then we just had her 9 days ago. So now we have 12 embryos left in storage. His donor is from Nicaragua, and so he's half Nicaraguan. That's from Spanish. Her donor is he's Korean. And
What I tell y'all? What the fuck did I tell y'all? You fucking laugh at me. Now I didn't know they was gonna say all of this. I keep telling y'all they can't afford to pick the race. And the most prideful thing that you can do in an IVF journey is have your black donor, your husband that you fleece, shit like that. That's what I was trying to tell y'all, man. This motherfucker's Korean. This little nigga's Nicaraguan.
Her donor is he's Korean, and her donor is Korean. The other embryos that we have are Korean because they're already fertilized with the Korean donor sperm. But yeah, we're not done.
We're not done. We already got some more Koreans in the box. Homie, they got Koreans. Got that cheap. They got the cheap donate. They got the cheap donors. Korean. Cheap.
We got 3 kids. We're a family of 5. And if y'all have any other questions about IVF, comment on this video. Let us know. We'll be happy.
Are we done? Probably not. So you guys will be expecting more from the Olivers. That's why I'm not getting my kids in order for this video, because it's gonna be more of them.
Yep. And yeah, so if y'all have any other questions,
This is all fun to these people, guys. This is a big, big joke. But you guys will never know this. You understand? You wouldn't even know this shit is existing out here in mass. You don't get it. We got more weirdos in our community than we got regular people. They don't like us because we don't act a certain way. But we're regular people, bro. I know a little bit of golf. Tiger got me hit. Okay. Yo, bro. Like, you know, like I tell you black brothers all the time, we are way more sophisticated than they give us credit for. Okay. Now, that nigga, I also heard you said something about investments and wealth. And King Disagreeable, he has a Discord that I went over there one time. I only saw a plane over there, but he has a platform that we can, you know, if he'll still have us, go over there and, you know, build. I'm the one that need to get over there as well as anybody. You know, so we have things, you know. Because this black community, they have ruined it, players. What more I need to show you?
Y'all, the time has come. Well, the time hasn't. It's not there. I'm excited. So it's her time of month. So now they're going to be tracking my hormone levels and just see how the oven is looking leading up to the process. So she's gonna go for some blood work and ultrasound, and then we'll see what we have to do from here. Stay tuned. It's how do you feel?
Excited, not a.
See that kind of little jet
These
lag?
people just well, we did what we had to do for the morning show. These people are sick. We did what we had to do. You know, guess what we're gonna do a little bit later. I see a lot of I've seen a lot of subject matter right here today, guys. We got Trump, so we're gonna go on TikTok later and see if the immigrants are mad about the birthright citizenship shit. And we're also gonna see the y'all know I hate this rainbow shit, but they said the courts back religious objection to LGBTQ books in school. So you know they're gonna have a lot to say about that, but I don't see why. Why would you want the kids to be a part of this? Because lesbians are making a bunch of babies. But they want that religious aspect to kick in. What does that mean? If they want the religious aspect to kick in, that means religion don't approve. But they always talking about God. This shit is wild. Fucking people are sick, bro. And it just makes it worse when you got black people that want to be a part of Stupid shit. Hold on. I think I can click the link on this time. I got another one open on my oh, but I got to do it on my phone, right? See, that's the major problem. It's always on the computer. But I got it on my other so I'm doing StreamYard over here, but I got it open on YouTube over here. So I click the link and it says I got to create an account. 4 people online. So I'm going to create an account on that computer because that's where I always mess up. When I get the link, I never click it right away. And that shit done put me in the rear for what? Since January. I could have been making some money by then. Yeah, so that nigga, click that link. That's where we can do our wealth stuff at. And we can all still be rocking together. Pause. So yeah, click that. I got mine. I got mine, pimp. And I just created. I'm creating. Shit making me wait. Confirm if you're not a robot. They do all this weird shit now. What's up with all this bullshit? Okay, I'm in. So on that computer, I guess I could just leave it open. But then I won't have it on my phone. Oh, no, I could send that link over to my email. Okay. So let me put that to this email. Oh, they want a password and all that bullshit? Okay. Because I got to get this shit done. I ain't going to lie. Oh, I'm already registered. So what the fuck did I do wrong? So I got to put a different email. I done did something wrong. I'm going to have to retrieve that other account. My password is too weak. Oh, no, that wasn't it. I got S-mail instead of Gmail. What? Unbelievable, son. Now I gotta go with one of my better passwords. All right, I'm in. I could just leave that up. I ain't gotta I ain't gotta shut that down. That's my other computer. Because I gotta confirm. Verify. Yeah, going over there, that nigga. I hope everything's right. Before, when I was on, I saw charts and shit. Yeah, I'm gonna just stay with this one where I see the charts and stuff. I don't know how to operate, but we'll just message the guys. Good. I'm finally in. I'm happy about that. At least we got some things done this morning, that nigga, because you know, like I say, we're trying to build our network. We all have a lot of things to offer one another. We just don't hook up and connect it. That's the only problem. It's the only problem. We got to learn what they're doing over here. I mean, you probably know, I don't. That's all. So it's 11:30. I think that I would take a little break and come back so I could get set up to get up out of here for the evening, man. Oh boy. All right, I'm gonna go out, man. I text this other bitch. She wanna call me now, so I'll holler back.